Hey guys, Beastforce here and welcome back to my Phineas and Ferb breakdown. In this video, I'm going to break down 12 episodes of Phineas and Ferb Season 2, while the songs, visuals, comedy just keep on rising to the occasion of the show, as we're getting closer and closer to Summer Belongs to You. But fortunately, I won't be breaking down until I finish the rest of the episodes until I get to that point. And I didn't do the in production order, which is a mistake, but I'm gonna mix it up a bit. I'm gonna do more episodes, the Beak episode, the Hawaii episode, which is the 100th episode, and by the time I get to the last two episodes, it will be Summer Belongs to You and Roller Coaster the Musical. If this is your first breakdown and you're curious how the rating system works, there's a detailed description down below, along with my other playlist and many other videos of my breakdowns. Kim Robertson and Edgar Carapena wrote his first episode called Just Passing Through, premiered on February the 6th, 2010 on Disney XD. And also, this is the first episode of Phineas and Ferb to premiere in 2010. Phineas and Ferb create an orb that allows them to pass through solid objects to help them retrieve Mom's favorite guitar pick. Candace brings the orb to Mom, but the troublesome Wilkins brothers put a kink in her plans. Meanwhile, Dr. Doofenshmirtz attempts to destroy a statue erect in his brother Roger's honor.
Mother's Jazz Trio has a gig at the May Day festivity. Shall be running the antiques auction.
The Flynn Fletcher's family business is selling antiques, while they do have an antique store which we don't get to see until season 3.
There's a market for that.
The public is going crazy for the flattening art.
There,
Why would you do that?
to express my individuality.
Oh no! My lucky gold guitar!
Don't worry, Linda, it happens to me most of the time. I end up just dropping stuff and I lose it.
Too far in. You gave me that for our anniversary.
You mean before or the Love Handle episode?
See you kids at the festival later, okay?
Bye!
I know what we're gonna do today, Ferb. Here's Perry.
Computer authorizing DNA.
The computer is voiced by Corey Burton, who also did the farmer on the show.
Their entrance.
Perry is like, really? Is that it?
His hatred for his brother.
And for the right reasons. I think Doofenshmirtz's hatred towards Roger Doofenshmirtz is justified. He doesn't fully hate him. It's just because in Heinz Doofenshmirtz's perspective, his parents sees him as perfect. And that's why he has a huge despise on him.
Now on to Tom Perkins with sport.
Tom Perkins does sport but doesn't get mentioned in the show.
On Ferb.
What you doing?
Through solid objects. Let's see if it works.
The song is called Just Passing Through, sung by Love Handle, but it's sung by Dan Provorov, the co-creator of Phineas and Ferb. It's using Candace's voice from Allergies to Parsnips instead of getting Carlos Zavakirakis. As Phineas uses the silver ball which transports them, as it got covered in that white aura with his friends around as they go down, as they are passing. It's odd that they don't cloak or become invisible while they do it, but they just pass through like no other, just phasing through just like that. I think that's molecules in the background. I like how Phineas Ferb and his friends put their heads in the billboard to look like they're going on space. You can't just ignore front face Phineas, as people disappear as it transfers into another sequence as they're stuck in a big room. Man, you just can't skate front face Phineas while pausing it.
We have to get that pic for Mom.
Hey!
I like how Phineas and Ferb and his friends said hey while not looking at Candace, which is hilarious. When it comes to Phineas and Ferb inventing stuff to solve problems, they're very useful.
See ya.
Mom?
Hello? Candace?
And there's all the moms, Vivian Garcia Shapiro and Jeremy's mom, Miss Johnson.
You're upset about losing your lucky pick. Like, you're gonna come home now, bring the ball to you. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Doofenshmirtz flatbed micro.
You see, Bobblehead Perry the Platypus, the powerful innator that will defame my brother Roger's statue that's being unveiled.
Bobblehead Perry the platypus.
Man, it just never gets old, isn't it?
balls, eh?
Candace just squeezed the ball first.
Wait till Mom sees this.
It is an honor to...
This is his 4th appearance in season 2, one of them being a cameo and one of them being a picture cameo. Man, it is packed out here. Man, Phineas and Ferb will have to go through that.
Roger, it is I who will be serving. Those are my keys, aren't they?
Doofus, you bastard. You should have got the key and then locked. I think that's a huge mistake. I really hate when people do that. It's just like your car's been locked like that from the other side and you can't drive.
I don't have my card. Okay, now it's not running. Now I need gas. I can get to my innator.
As Doofus uses the innator to scan and see of waiting for Rogers to reveal the statue. This was before Perry the Platypus reveals this. As you can see, different layers, the red dots, and a lot of things happening in the visuals. Very well done.
What? It's an arts and crafts project.
I like how two going face to face with each other as Perry the Platypus beaks is down while facing Doofenshmirtz.
You, Perry the Bobblehead!
Bummer, I have a flat.
Man, imagine having your bike flattened like that. And also, isn't that the same bikes that was used in Summer Belongs to You when Buford stole it? Oh, would you look at that? It is indeed. Isabella, Phineas, Ferb, except for Candace, everyone has their own bikes. That's the same bike that was used in Summer Belongs to You in the future. Go figure.
Antique steamroller.
I put a steamroller in the screen just in case to understand what people know about. The two of the Wilkins brothers are Orville and Wilbur Wilkins, and this is their only 2 appearance. John Schneider and Tom Wolper providing the voice for these two. Fifi from Boston? What are you doing here?
The Wilkins brothers.
Cause trouble at every steam-powered antique auction in the tri-state area.
Enjoy your last moments of freedom, boys.
We learn that Phineas and Ferb, Candace and his friends are going to the Mayo Day Festival.
Plan, which I
Man, Doofenshmirtz is doing it on purpose.
behold, Oninator!
The Begonator is a meme as well. As Doofenshmirtz uses the Begonator, as you can see, green aura covers it around as it shrinks as it disappears, which is cool.
They're to be gone. Goodbye, stupid Roger statue.
No one's paying a lick of attention to us, Wilbur. Out of here.
Because no one cares about your shit opinion.
How long does it take you to fix a flat?
Baljeet's complaining about Phineas and Ferb pumping Isabella's tire while they could build a roller coaster in the day. But again, they're just taking their time, but they almost got crushed by the steamroller. Can you imagine Candace didn't lose that? They would have been squashed.
Sickness, do I have any bin?
It's such a shame that the steamroller uses the tracing of the grass right there. Hey, it's the ball pit kid again. He always appears every time. That was very smart from Perry. Uses the own magnifying glass from Doofenshmirtz's car to deflect it to destroy the Begonator.
Boys, thank you. What a relief. I just hate playing without it. I've got to go. And just because I won't let you get pink hair, you don't...
Of course.
I know, Jerry can't see me like this. I know.
As the mirror deflected the Begonator as it destroys the doors. Very interesting.
Pour and breathe. Woo!
Our moms are gonna start playing when they unveil the statue.
Everything worked out for everyone today.
I forgot, Ferb only says one line, and that was with Buford, Isabella, and Baljeet saying the same thing called hey.
I destroyed the bee, so...
Hey, look at that. A pumpless pump trolley. Now that's old school.
The Wilkins brothers is based around Orville and Wilbur Wright in 1905, which were the first men to fly on an aeroplane. Alright, let's start with the ratings. The plot gets a 2. The episode is about Phineas and Ferb retrieving the guitar for his mom, which she lost it, and they found it by using the transporter module silver ball thing to get it. As Candace trying to use it to bust her brothers, which ultimately leads up to failure. As Doofenshmirtz trying to get rid of the statue because he hates his brother getting much attention, and he loses it because of Roger Doofenshmirtz being the mayor. Perry the Platypus stopped him as he trying to use the Begone ears to destroy it, which ultimately failed. The characterization will get a 4. Everyone's very consistent in this episode. Doof, Phineas, Ferb, Isabella, Baljeet, Buford, even Candace. We get to see Jeremy, Isabella's mom, Jeremy's mom. Many of them being very consistent, spectacular, but doesn't get the higher rating because it's not as spectacular, but it's still very consistent. Visuals will get a 4. I was close to giving it a 3, but I like the Begonator, the transport module thing that Phineas and Ferb use, Candace stuck in the toilet, the statue, and many people that were in the Mayor Festival. Very nice and very well done. Importance, it gets a 2, one of them being the Begonator, which became a meme, and the song just passing through. Other than that, there's nothing else. While the entertainment side will get a 5. That leaves off with a 17 out of 25. Again, very good start to this video. Let's move on to the next one. Another episode that premiered on February the 6th, 2010, an episode called Candace's Big Day. Once again, it's written by Aliki Theophilopoulos and Anton Gilbert. Candace is elated at the prospect of being the maid of honor at Aunt Tiara and Uncle Bob's wedding, but when it gets moved to the backyard, Phineas and Ferb's creative touches threaten to tarnish Candace's vision for the wedding. Meanwhile, Agent P must stop Doofenshmirtz from spraying a coconut oil and the corn syrup concoction over the entire tri-state area.
And here's Bob and me jumping out of a helicopter.
The first and only appearance of Aunt Tiana, and she's voiced by Megan Hilty. Also, good to see Bob Webber again, which will be his last appearance. He did appear a cameo in Ferb TV, but it was just a cameo. It's nice to see that Aunt Tiana's going on adventures with Bob Webber in many things and many places and many countries, which is very, very awesome.
To the Galapagos.
They're actually going to the Galapagos Island, which is in the volcano island in the Eastern Pacific.
My wife, Tiana, will you marry me?
Okay.
Oh, corny. But apparently effective.
When I was little, you promised I would be your bridesmaid.
Which will come true in this episode.
Well, we could go to the courthouse before we leave.
We could have it in the backyard.
In the backyard? Really, Candace? Unless it's too expensive, then I understand, but what about your wedding with Jeremy? I wonder what it's gonna be like.
Planning this since I was 10.
Well, she has been going through a lot to plan it, and she looks very different as she's wearing a dress and her hair is tied back. Different compared to gaming the system.
Candace, I know you're going to plan a wonderful wedding. Phineas and Ferb helping.
I know what we're gonna do today.
No! Don't know what you're going to do today.
Come on, Candace, let Phineas and Ferb help, because they're good at inventing ideas.
Lawn Gnome Beach Party of Taffeta.
That's a reference to the episode Lone Gnome Beach Party of Terror, which is in season 1.
Flowers? Oh, yes, I need something with smell. Please hold. I'm still here. Hold, please. Would you guys scram?
Well-
Go plan the grand entrance.
So, have you seen Perry?
Fun, fun.
That's a reference to the Lindana song.
I have no idea why he signed it that many times.
Why would I want my cake in a vase? Oh, you're the florist, not the baker.
Yeah, Candace is all doing a cake, which you get to see later on, which is very, very covered with different food.
Hey, Candace!
See, Aunt Tiana, Bob, and the wedding photographer will pair just like they did in South America.
Absolutely not. You are off grand entrance duty. Just go take care of the flowers. Do it! And don't interrupt me.
Man, I really like the way that Ashley Tisdale delivered that line. Very strong.
I'm gonna have her plan my wedding. Ferb, make a note.
I got it.
Did you hear that? Phineas said he's gonna plan his wedding and Isabella said she got this. That could be intended for Phineas to marry Isabella in the future. In the comments down below, what do you think Phineas and Isabella's wedding would be like?
Surprise, Perry the Platypus! For your trip! Perry the Platypus! Oh, no!
There are a lot of good jokes in Phineas and Ferb, but this is up there one of my favorites.
Please. What? No, I don't want to save money on my car insurance.
And I just thought you'd like to see how the flowers turn out.
Oh!
Venus flytraps, just like in their adventure in the Amazon.
Which Aunt Tiana showed earlier in her pictures.
And hey, he likes you.
Get this thing off me!
And they are at the salon getting their makeup and their things done.
Are you and Bob thinking of having kids?
Well, Aunt Tiana said we should help, and it is her wedding when you think about it.
That's pretty true, but Candace is trying to make sure that he doesn't do some crazy shenanigans.
No robots, no roller coasters, no fireworks spectaculars, no native dancers, no running of the wildebeest.
Man, I really like the way Ferb writes it in the board to make sure that they remember to do something different in the wedding instead of doing some crazy shenanigans.
It's on the table. The junk foodinator! It sprays my special mix of high fructose corn syrup and hydrogenated coconut food into toasty warm junk food. Magic overweight blobs easily controlled by one left eating healthy food.
And remember, you try going a treadmill while eating cupcakes from the Fireside Girls.
I'm not quite used to the taste. I'm used to eating the, I can feel myself.
Another thing in the comments down below, do you think you will eat junk food along with healthy food? Sometimes it doesn't make sense unless it tastes good, but would you try it?
No giant robot groomsmen, no mechanized rice catapults, no rocket to the moon, no bringing the moon down to Earth.
I really like how Candace referenced to other episodes in season 1 and season 2 before this episode. I like how she remembers all that stuff in over what they done in the summer.
What do we have in the ice file?
Man, I like the way Phineas looks back at Ferb. Look at his eyes.
Look at this lifelike glow I've acquired.
In the Fireside Girl Jamboree, Doofus was trying to lose weight until he receives cupcakes. Now he's gaining weight again by using healthy food into junk food, and he has acne in his face and he's getting fatter.
I'm as strong as an ox. I should really refill this first.
And he's be like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? Is that really an evil scheme to foil me?
Just like you asked.
Thank you!
Hey, aren't you a little young to be a wedding planner?
Isn't that the same guy from the roller coaster episode? And he has a different voice actor. Sounds like D. Bradley Baker.
No, I'm not!
Now it's a chicken, as you can see, a lobster, a lot of different foods, and a chicken. Very, very detailed right there.
The horror.
I like how the mirror affects Candace. It's like, she's like, what have I done to myself?
We incorporate all of Aunt Tiana and Bob's adventures.
I do! Aunt Tiana, hurry up! You've got to see like that.
Some days are better than others.
Look at this cake! It has a chicken in it! Here! I think it may also have a chicken in it.
Man, Ashley Tisdale's really killing it in this episode. Great voice acting performance from her once again.
Yes!
Hi, Auntie T. We're just putting the finishing touches on the scorpion, the venomous sparkling apple cider.
I failed you. I turned your specialty into the worst wedding ever.
That's what happens when you have unexperience. Candace, just go learn how to plan a wedding and looking at videos instead of trying to do random things to make it perfect. But it didn't really turn disastrous after all.
It's all the rage in Montevideo. Easy hodgepodge of everything I love. And this, oh, well, all I can say is thank you. Now, why don't you come inside and help me with my dress?
Oh, yay!
And she's back to being smiling again after thought she has a bad wedding. It turned out it is fine after all.
Who am I? Oh, it's me.
Man, look at Perry the Power. Looks like he's going some body weight right there.
Now, I gotta see.
As the junk foodinator fires up, as it targets the backyard once again, as it's going to disappear, you can see the smoke going up in the sky while the ice will begin to melt as it shakes down. You can see it's starting to melt. As it turns out, there's a block of ice spreading while you could see a wedding between Bob Weber and Tiana, which they're both gonna get married in the later on.
How you did that, but get ready to pay, Perry the Platypus. Here we are. Let's do this thing. Platypus, you can just let yourself out.
Doofus admits that he isn't gonna last for a while, so he may well just lose weight once again, which he does, but Perry, he doesn't curse him this time.
Wow, you even made it snow! The ice sculpture with all our great adventure.
The step you're about to take is the beginning of your greatest adventure yet. Just teeing up the song.
Step you take, the journey of your life.
The song is called Wedding Adventure. We haven't had the song in this episode, but until later on, which is now, but nice to see it. But it does start slow, but it suddenly goes fast, similar to Spa Day and Atlantis.
As husband and wife.
I really like the sculpture of Bob and Weber's adventures, which is a mini one. Bob looking as good as ever, nice tuxedo.
Okay.
While the song speeds up, you can see a bull chasing Ginger. As other things, you can see Isabella upside down, Baljeet, Holly, and Addison doing their thing. And also you get to see Django as well. Nice to see him again. He doesn't appear a lot much. We get to see Isabella wearing a dress right there in this scene.
Your marriage is the adventure of your life.
Oh, and they get a kiss, and they officially married. Bob and Aunt Tiana, go have an adventure of your life. Imagine Phineas and Isabella's wedding will look different, as the same song but different.
Aw, nuts!
Man, Linda and Lawrence looks good in that tuxedo and dress. In this episode, we'll get two. The episode's about the wedding, planning the wedding, and for Aunt Tiana and Bob to get married, which have successfully done, but it took an interesting turn, building the ice sculpture and a lot of things to make sure a perfect wedding, which turned out to be very, very good. Really like the Doofus really trying to turn everyone to eating junk food by using the inhaler, but it turned out he got down and it really hurts him as he failed to do that, while Perry the Platypus even had to fight him. Characterization will get a 4 just like the last episode. Everyone's very consistent in this episode, but not quite as spectacular. And I really like Aunt Tiana appearing for the first time, as well as Bob, as well as the other characters as well helping out for the wedding, as well as Doof and Perry. We get more of them, but not as much as it is. The visuals will get a 4. There are some lot of stunning things for when Phineas and Ferb built the wedding, the ice sculpture, the adventures they've been through, and a lot of things including the song. And also there are a lot of things which keeps your interest. Importance, it gets a 2. Only because this is Aunt Tiana's only appearance and Bob Weber's last fully appearance before they go on an adventure, and the song as well, and that's it. It's only for the wedding and the song. That's as much as you could thought in this episode, but nothing else matters. Entertainment gets a 5. It is the same score as the previous episode, as it is very consistent and very, very enjoyable, but not quite as memorable as the other episode. But I won't stop you if you want to watch it if you want. But overall, it's doing very, very good. Move on to the next one. The third episode of this breakdown was I Was a Middle-Aged Robot, written by Sherm Cohen and Chong Lee. Candace is determined to win this year's father and daughter obstacle course, but Lawrence finds Agent P's lair and his memory has been accidentally erased. Carl has Agent P operate a Lawrence robot to fill in during the race. Meanwhile, Dr. Doofus invents a solution that works the opposite of glue. As the third episode in a row in this breakdown, it starts at the Flynn Fletcher's house, but it's a different angle as you can see. Very nice.
I can't remember the word!
Do what to do.
Yeah. How many times have I told you to keep Perry out of my way?
She has the same issue with Perry in many episodes.
I'm training for this year's father-daughter picnic competition. Dad, come on, we're not finished practicing.
Spot for the trophy, we're going to win today.
Poor Lawrence. Look at this. 16th place, better luck this time, nice try, and the L side. My god, I really feel bad for Lawrence.
Place, nice try. It means loser.
That also means L.
This year we might take home one just like this.
Even if Lawrence loses again, I can't blame him for his optimistic. He's gotta keep trying.
You are my two favorite competitors.
Did you hear that, Ferb? I know what we're gonna do today. Where's Perry?
Say, that fellow wearing the dashing fedora looks awfully familiar. Huh? Perry?
And Lawrence knows Agent P has blown his cover. Looks like he's gonna be relocated unless this happens.
Base sequence initiated. 5% complete.
That's Corey Burton doing the voice for the computer once again.
Hey, Phineas. Hi, Ferb.
Hi, Isabella.
What you doing? Anything I can do to help?
Please donate some pom-poms, a fog machine, and 372 feet bunch of cord.
You got
Nice to see Isabella helping out again. She is very helpful.
Base 95%.
Daddy? Uh-oh.
Of course, Major Morgan without his beard. Again. This one looks cool. Oh, I really like this mustache. It looks very nice.
Mr. Fletcher got caught in the memory eraser.
And this is our first hint towards the memory eraser, which we get to see in the second dimension. But in the second dimension, they used the amnesia data that Doofusmercy created.
Oh, this could bring down the entire organization.
If I see someone losing their memory and he talks like this, I'll be thinking, what the fuck?
Got the brain of a toddler. We need to restore his memory before he's missed at the father-daughter picnic. Better hurry before it's time to change him.
You stop it. I am trying to have a conversation. Anticipating just this kind of situation. Attic replicas of the Flynn Fletcher family.
Carl designed the Flynn Fletcher family as robots. As interesting enough, this gets reused in Where's Perry Part 2 in Season 3. But we'll get to that. Was it when Carl became evil?
To operate the Mr. Fletcher robot until we can replace him with the real Mr. Fletcher.
The Phinetroids and Furbots song is in the background once again.
That's a little creepy, Carl.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And by inopportune, of course, I mean completely opportune. And what is used, you may ask? It's the opposite of glue. Anything fall apart.
You must abort your current mission. There is something much more important than Doofenshmirtz.
Hello, I'm right here. I can hear you.
Man, Doofusmercy is hilarious, even though Perry the Planet was facing the other way.
But don't you want to know why I want to destroy the adult diaper factory? You know, this is gonna be a backstory too someday.
Ladies and girls, I give you the Floating Pep Squad Mobile. First stop, our observation and media deck. Room provides pollutant-free power.
You can use it for the gym and to do running and stuff.
Our 360-degree fun bounce.
As well, Carl trying to regain Lawrence's memory, you can see Lawrence kissing Linda from the Love Handle episode, which is a great callback.
Operation manual is in Dutch.
Well, to find a Dutch to French dictionary.
Godspeed, Agent P. Now, commence startup.
Startup successful.
It's very, very smart to reuse that scene for Perry the Platypus to check the book. I really like the buttons and everything inside of Robot Lawrence Fletcher.
As long as it's okay with Mom, it's okay with me. Lovely windmill, isn't it?
Count the bugs in. There, good as new.
And away we go. Looks like Perry the Platypus got his work cut out. Phil the announcer? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry, Candace. I got stuck in a bit of traffic, but I'll be there as soon as I can.
It happens to me when I see traffic with cars everywhere.
Never mind, Mom. He's here.
As long as it's okay with Mom, it's okay with me.
And we have a perfect view of today's first event.
As it says Go Canada, look at the speaker appear from nowhere, which is odd, but okay. I really like how the Fireside Girls become supportive in this situation to help Candace and Lawrence win. As you can see the smoke trails, as it said, go, go, Candace and Lawrence. Actually, Candace.
As long as it's okay with Mom, it's okay with me.
As Lawrence Fletcher loses his arms, you can see magnets as he uses lasers to make sure he attracts them to as it reattaches it with ease, with no problem, while everyone's not looking. Candace doesn't suspect a thing.
Great, Dad. Looks like we're still losers.
Team will have 60 seconds to eat as much pie as possible with their hands behind their back.
To be honest, I could do that with no problem. Perry inside of Lawrence's robot, you can see he's using the wind to suck the pie in to make sure that it has no contest.
Ew!
His name is Balthazar Horowitz, and he's voiced by none other than Swampy Marsh's son, Django.
Sculpting contest. You got a butterfly, a snail, oh, and a snake.
That's not technically a balloon animal.
Man, Perry the Platypus in the robots is doing very well. Really like the memo, but you don't get points because it's not an animal. Also, the woman on the board is the judge, so she is voiced by Kari Walgren.
Dad, you're burning up. I'll go get you some water.
Agent P, I'm afraid your robotic Mr. Fletcher is overheating. Carl forgot to top off the coolant level. Roll until we can make the switch.
Perry the Platypus is sweating milk again. This is a good thing Candace turns around, otherwise she would have known that Perry is inside.
Look a lot better. Let's head on over to the water balloon toss.
With Perry the Platypus out of the scenario, nothing will stop me!
Again, more background scenes of Danville. Very cool.
I suppose.
It's that guy in the blue shirt again. That probably must be Buford's bully. And also the flea marksman salesman is here too. And he's been used as a background character, but he does appear when we get to season 3 when he speaks.
Hey, we started a wave.
There's some Phineas and Ferb background characters that appear again. Fifi, once again from Boston, who also appear in Just Passing Through. Also, Doofenshmirtz's ex-girlfriend from the Bigfoot episode.
Jolly good, Candace.
Wow, nice reach.
Need to distract the girls so we can make the swap.
Distract the girl? Do you know her name, Major Monogram? He's one of the Flynn Fletcher family. It's Carl's ice cream shop again, just like in Swiss Family Phineas.
Agent.
Man, Balthazar is everywhere, though aka the ball pit kid.
Go, 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 go! I caught the balloon and the judges gave us some points for the longest distance. I think we're in second place. Let's go!
We first get to see the diaper factory as it's super far away. That is the only scene we get to see, as we never get to see a close scene of the factory. Ugg accidentally puts Ugg all over his plane as it caused the plane to being destroyed as it's ripped apart from it. Wow. Hey, there's the guy from the blue shirt from the last episode where Candace sets up the wedding. Also from the roller coaster episode.
Bubblegum, running in a sack. Hop to the finish and don't look back. Bubblegum, running in a sack. Hop to the finish and don't look back.
Looks like Lawrence and Candace are working each other. Looks like they're gonna be speeding ahead with the sack. Another hilarious, even though Perry the Platypus wasn't involved with the scheme to stop him, he still curses him no matter what. Who are these two Fireside Girls? I've never seen them before, but they're background characters. Man, the ball pit kid is everywhere. Oh, there's Sally, there's Pedro, and there's Fifi. As Candace and Lawrence using the sack to catch up, you can see Sally, Pedro, the same background lapping while Candace and Lawrence using the sack to catch up. It's very noticeable.
To the finish and don't look back.
Look, we're pulling ahead. Great job. I'm so proud of you guys.
And the winner is...
As Candace and Lawrence are first, check a look at the names that you found familiar. Melissa and Dan Proverman. Dan Proverman's daughter, Melissa. And also Zach Moncrief and his daughter, Lynn.
Thank you! And thank you, Dad.
But I'll never forget this moment with you.
Oh, Lawrence is such a cool dad. Nobody could hate Lawrence. He's a good dad.
Oh, there you are, Perry.
Hey, haven't I seen you before?
Carl, we gotta fire up the memory eraser again.
Do you know what makes it hilarious? The ball pit kid is voiced by none other than Django Mar. His father is Swampy March, who voices Major Monogram, and he's gonna memory wipe his own son in the TV show. That's pretty hilarious, but oh, I'm gonna give the plot a 2. Overall, it's another simple episode of Phineas and Ferb. While it doesn't focus on inventions, the episode focuses on Candace and Lawrence preparing for the contest, as they wanted to win while Lawrence failed time and time again in the past while he lost, but this time they worked together and found a solution in the end. And I like the part where Lawrence was brainwashed so that Perry the Platypus can fill in for him, and he did a very good job until his cover was blown, but it all resolved in the end. Deuce was trying to destroy the factory by using his own glue, but he failed, but it didn't involve as much. The characterization, I'm going to give it a 5. I really like how Perry the Platypus helped his owners while Lawrence is brainwashed, and it's good to see Carl doing more stuff, as we're going to see more in Undercover Carl while Carl goes undercover in the backyard. Major Monogram plays a part as well, and also really like how Candace and Lawrence in the end helping to each other. Remember singing the song Bubblegum running the set up to the finish and Don't Look Back. I really like that. They're making a teamwork, which they won. Everyone else was very good. I think the visuals will get a 4. I was close to giving it a 3 once again, but there are a lot of things that is happening. Doofus's playing design looked good. There are movements of the background characters and Lawrence of Candace. Also the Lawrence robot with the Flynn Fletcher family, which Carl designed. All of them being very good. Importance gets a 3. People were thinking, why a 3? It's because we get more of the Flynn Fletcher family together. Also the memory eraser, which foreshadows in the second dimension in the future. And also the episode is very good. Entertainment will get a 5. Even though Doof and Perry ain't fighting each other or Phineas and Ferb ain't making invention, there are other things that keeps you interested, and that is this episode. That leaves us with a 19 out of 25. Higher score than the last one, which I'm very surprised. Overall, you don't need to have every episode of Perry and Doof fighting each other to make a good episode, as we get to see evident in season 4. But overall, this episode is well done. It's like a family feel together, and it makes you have a very good time. Move on to the next one. Aliki Theophilopoulos and Umton Gilbard wrote another episode of Phineas and Ferb, Suddenly Susie, premiered on February the 13th, 2010. Candace panics when she inadvertently agrees to babysit Jeremy's little sister Susie, only for Susie to be docile in the absence of his brother. Meanwhile, the boys build a replica of Niagara Falls. Elsewhere, Dr. Doofus has decided to increase his carbon footprint. This is another episode where we start at the Flynn Fletcher's house again.
But I still have a lot to accomplish before I get married.
We don't see you get married with Jeremy, but you do have kids in the future. She is making a Jeremy shrine. How ironic.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hi, Candace. Do you think you could look after Susie for a few hours?
Damn, this doesn't sound good.
Wait, what did you say?
You hear that sound? That sounds very familiar.
How nice. A babysitting job.
She's evil.
Imagine Vicky babysits Susie. What would it be like? Let me know in the comments down below.
How much trouble could she be?
Niagara Falls.
This is the first mention of Niagara Falls in Phineas and Ferb, which is in Ontario in Canada and the state of New York in the United States. Also, we get to see Niagara Falls in Phineas and Ferb, which is in season 4 of an episode Sidetrack where Lala Blueberry and Perry the Platypus team up together.
It's over 167 feet high. It's also tremendously popular with daredevils.
I know what we're gonna do today. Hey, where's Perry?
Man, I'm gonna get overwhelmed with these counters if they keep doing this.
Me too, sir.
What?
I have one, sir.
Carl, you disgust and fascinate me.
Carl's playing Perry the Platypus theme while his hair is in his cheek, in his beard.
Must hide anything Susie can use against me.
She's throwing Mr. Miggins in the bin. That is your teddy bear.
I get cold.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I see a smile on her face, I know she's gonna be up to something. Matt Ferb can throw. He could do anything.
What you doing?
Ask him.
My chiropractor recommended it. Tough gum.
It's Buford's bully from the flashback episode when Buford lost Biff. And we do get a similar one in Across the Second Dimension, which is called Victory Gum.
I don't think so. It's for bullies only.
Ferb and I built a giant waterfall ride and we wanted run.
Well, just be careful, because I worry about you.
Even though they're frenemies, they care about each other.
How do you like my new shoelaceinator? Carbon footprintinator!
2 innators in this episode? And also Perry looks shut stunned.
Shame. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds evil. Giant carbon footprints all over the tri-state area.
So, Candace, are you ready to have some fun? It's called naked.
Huh?
It's for you. Making you look bad is just one of the ways I control Jeremy.
And I know you're going to do it anyway because you are one little pest, you are.
Can't you get your brothers to do anything you want? Unacceptable. To the backyard!
I really like how Kari Walgren delivers her lines as Susie, and she does the squeaky voice, which makes it very, very awesome that she can do it. And she's a professional voice actress.
What you doing? Hello?
Just like the Christmas Vacation or when Buford said it, Isabella gets triggered when anybody else says it. But when it comes to Phineas, no problem, because she likes him.
Just watching all this work makes me thirsty. Glass of cool lemonade.
See?
Thank you.
Man, Susie is a kid and she has a power to control anything. Also, the lemonade, which foreshadows in, was it when Candace and Stacy, when they broke up as best friend, and she sees Phineas and Ferb making a lemonade stand.
Now that you've watched the master at work, it's time for you to get yours. Is that a question or a mission?
A mission.
Mean it!
I want to bust my brothers. I want to bust my brothers!
Get them to bust themselves.
Say what you want about Susie, but she is very smart, despite being a young kid.
Get my brothers to bust themselves! Get my brothers to bust themselves! Get my brothers to bust themselves!
Boys, what you doing?
Do I even need to be here?
That is the second time she said it in this season.
So, what you doing? For does not drop me first.
Tough guys don't drop stuff.
Phineas and Ferb, I want you to pick up the phone right now.
Gosh, that is a weird thing. I remember this being popular at the time. Very, very a mean face.
Everything okay, Candace?
Yes?
Can I borrow your phone?
Hey!
Even when Susie gives a thumbs up, you know you're doing something right. And Candace is smiling right now.
So, what kind of unbelievable contraption have Phineas and Ferb built that requires me to come home immediately?
Hard. You gotta come home right away.
You sound just like Candace.
Hurry up, you gotta see it.
All right, just as soon as I find the right sprinkler part.
Doofenshmirtz carbon footprint.
That's the second time that Doofus must have a ringtone in this song, in this episode.
Everything is going according to my plan. Anti-environmental theme I've been dancing around. How did you get out of that double knot? Hey, I like the window. I just added in stock.
And we get to see more backgrounds of Danville, which is the same in season 2. And that parachute was reused in Perry the Platypus's theme song for the end credits.
Better 86 the gum. It's a choking hazard.
Back for that bad boy. All right, let's do this.
I can't wait for Mo to see this.
While Phineas and his friends fly down in the Niagara Falls water, as you can see the Flynn Fletcher's Isabella's house in the background.
This is it! Today's the day! It's my day! Is Buford not in the battle with us?
Bullseye!
Mr. Banana, that's a reference to Kim Possible, while Monique was in Club Banana. Their hair is all wet while Isabella's trying to clean her hair.
Tell Mom, let's go!
Congratulations, you are now an official driver for the Mr. Banana Company.
It's the same guy from the roller coaster episode and the previous episode as well.
I literally just wrote a song about a platypus driving a banana truck. Wait, my demo!
Alabama bound with a load of bananas in a line.
The song is called Alabama Bound, which is short and it's very, very nice as well. And also, this is a similar rhythm to Truck Driving Girl. There's actually a clean version of Alabama Bound, which was channeled by Charter Schoolgirl, which she actually do videos of Lost Media and Phineas and Ferb soundtrack for the longer version. Go check out her channel, or his. Perry's wearing a cap called Platt, which is similar logo to Caterpillar Inc. As you can see closer in Doofus, but you can see it's a CGI because of the carriage and the different layers of it.
That there's a mobile!
Woo! In the backyard. Want to see it?
Why, I'd love to.
In Doofus Inc. Blimp, you can see the Phineas and Ferb built a Niagara Fall in the backyard. That's a very good detail.
Oh, see there? Yeah, there you go.
What, did you think a mountain spring was just gonna fall out of the sky?
Man, I like the farmer's gag. It is so funny. I hope we see it in season 5.
You've never believed in me.
Perry the Platypus is very smart. He uses a banana thing, which causes her Dolphin's carbon footprint to hit the blimp, causing it to fall.
Like Niagara Falls back here. But this part will fix that.
Man, how did Perry get here? Oh, it's because he's near the, yeah.
How can this be? It was supposed to work this time. Don't you have anything to say?
She did her best, Candace, but again, Doofus once again interferes with everything. With Perry as well.
Hold this, please.
How's it going?
Perfect. Guess we're back on the clock.
Never change, Susie. Never change. For starters of this episode, I'm going to give the plot a 2. I really like the idea to model it up with Susie helping Candace to try bust her brothers, and it almost worked while Phineas calling her mom on Candace's phone to make sure that the Niagara Falls is in the backyard, only to foiled by Doofus versus carbon footprint and his Anata again, while foiled by Perry the Platypus in the process. The characterization will get a 4. Everyone's on point in this episode, which is very consistent, but I really like the idea that Susie helping Candace to try and bust her brothers, to force them to bust themselves, which it didn't work, even though Susie put water on her in the end. The visuals, I think it's going to get a 3. There are a lot of good things happening. The Niagara Falls that Phineas and Ferb built, Doofus versus carbon footprint and the blimp, and Perry the Platypus riding on Mr. Banana. But that's it. It has spectacular moments, but not as far as it is as previous episode. It has more fluid detail and everyone's moving. It still does, but not quite as much. Importance gets a 2 because of Susie returning, even though it's not important, but 1 gets a bit, and the songs and the references, but that's it. Entertainment will get a 4. That leaves off with a 15 out of 25. The lowest of season 2 so far, but it's still a very good episode. There's still fun gags, a lot of gimmicks, and it does keep you interested, but overall, it didn't feel like this to me, apart from the Susie parts, but whatever. Let's move on to the next one. Chung Suk Lee and Shem Cohen wrote another episode of Phineas and Ferb called Undercover Picard, premiered on February the 13th, 2010 on Disney XD. Phineas and Ferb create a device to reverse the effects of the gravity. Meanwhile, Major Moneygrab believes the boys are out to destroy the tri-state area, so he sends Carl to investigate while he assigns Agent P on a wild goose chase to find a long-lost agent elsewhere. Doofus finds the blueprints to the anti-gravity machine and takes them for his own purposes.
Gravity.
Front face Phineas, not surprised.
Even you can't change the law of gravity. You can't wear white after Labor Day.
Well, some people do, but many people... There was an article saying, why can't you wear white in Labor Day?
Hey, that's it. I know what we're gonna do today. Hey, where's Perry?
Right here.
Carl,
1 minute, sir. Just finishing up my status update.
Once again, for the second episode in this breakdown, it focuses on Carl and Major Monogram.
I need to show more initiative. Do have 24 hours before I have to submit my evaluation.
Right now by triple checking the chatosphere for suspicious activities.
Major Monogram can be helpful, but he can be a bit of a dick at times. We get another angle of the Flynn Fletcher's house, and once again, it's very nice detail right there. Very cool. There's different angles of it in every episode of Phineas and Ferb of the Flynn Fletcher's house, and this is one of them.
Hey, Baljeet, that was fast.
But you accidentally placed a cosine where you needed a quadratic differential.
There's absolutely nothing going on today. No, I lost the stupid box lid. Now I can't figure out how to...
He lost the stupid box, so he can't finish his puzzle. Look at this. You can finish it. Put the plates here, 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 and here, and you're done. It's only just 5 of them left. Come on, doof.
Icicle pop sticks like you promised.
Look at my tongue. See? No more raspberry icicle pops until the blue dye flushes completely out of my system.
That's the same thing when I have a slushie with different colors.
And I know what you are doing, Norm. You're a sick, sick robot. Blueprints and so...
As there is no Google, it's just a simple internet with different shapes inside.
Evil Launchinator. There, I changed the name. This could be the greatest scheme ever.
Downloaded a blueprint. Anti-gravity fun launcher.
I like how Carl decrypting the letters in the screen as we get to see it in later on in the scene.
Major Monogram! Anagram decoder. The letters form Evil Fanatic Hunter Ray Gun.
Looks like you're missing an E.
Agent P's owners. They must be in league with Doofenshmirtz.
Come on, Carl. Phineas and Ferb haven't met Doofenshmirtz yet, and they're not doing something evil. They're doing something fun for their summer.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. Let's help Doofenshmirtz to destroy the Tri-State area.
It's either because Vincent Martella recorded the lines or is it decoded in the voice acting, which could be interesting, but also Vincent Martella also did an impression of Doofenshmirtz while Dan Prover and his writers are in the writer room.
If you adjust the range, Ferb, we can enslave more people across the Tri-State area.
That's not what I sound like.
We need you to track down a missing agent, Agent G.
Major Monogram actually distracted Perry the Platypus to go do another mission while Carl's trying to discover what Phineas and Ferb are doing. And also, Agent G stands for Agent Goo, while Agent G stands for Agent Silent G, which is in Agent Doof.
Iceland, Monte Carlo, Burbank, California.
Which is in The Tonight Show, which is located in Burbank, California.
It's up to you to chase that goose and bring him back to the agency.
G again?
Gary the Gander? Oh, that's just a wild goose chase. We had to distract Agent P because he's too close to Phineas and Ferb.
That's what I just said earlier. Major Monogram is distracting Perry the Platypus so that Carl can go in to find out what Phineas and Ferb are doing. He's wearing a C with a cape, which is very similar to Superman. Man, he looks like a jester or Harley Quinn from the DC. What the fuck? Carl as Doofenshmirtz? That cursed me.
Carl.
You can count on me, sir.
Okay, now where's Perry?
Sir, I've reached the target. Over.
Roger that, Carl.
Who's that, Phineas?
Front face Phineas again.
Sir, I've made contact. My name is Carl.
Carl's been back to being dumb again. But I've seen your own name is not that bad. It's very good.
Nice to meet you, Carl. Come and join us in the fun.
And this is the first time Phineas meet Carl, as you get to meet him again in the second dimension when Perry the Platypus was being relocated in the end, but created an amnesia to wipe their memories. Again.
Oh, I hear you're the math genius behind this.
And I just made a minor modification.
Interesting. Ferb, you don't talk much, do you?
Actually,
what's that?
I remember it's very similar, but I don't remember. I'll double check.
Still a man of few words, I see.
Well, actually,
I think our guest should go first.
Yeah, me?
Don't worry, it only lasts 15 minutes.
15 minutes? That probably is long or kinda because depend on time you have.
Evil? This is just for fun.
See, Carl? They're not doing something evil. They're doing something fun for their summer for 104 days. The song is called When You Levitate, sung by Carmen Carter, who did the songs. She did plenty of songs for Phineas and Ferb, including Izzy's Got the Frizzies, which is in this breakdown, which I'm going to do later on. While the water split in ground, you can see the straw which Phineas and Ferb and his friends swallow as they're forming hands together after Carl appears to help. Phineas uses cheese as it goes like a rocket as Ferb swallows it, as everyone else is having a fun time. Told you it's not evil, Carl.
Ooh, they are so busted this time. I've got to find.
Carl, help is on the way.
Thanks for bringing this down for me.
How many times do I have to tell you you can't park in a loading zone?
Of course, it's just like getting a yellow ticket. And also, this is the same cop from Flop Stars, was it, when he tells Linda to pay the jacket.
I do for a living.
Monte Carlo, that's where Agent P is to find Agent G. Man, I really like the building designs here. And the flags, very well done there. Man, Perry the Platypus looks good in that tuxedo. And also, this is a reference to Casino Royale, the James Bond movie. It means I know nothing in French.
What's that?
Hello, son.
Hi, Carl's dad.
Oh, I realized they don't know who Major Monogram is yet. And they don't meet him until across the second dimension. In the end, was it Agent P's cover's been blown and he had to be reloaded until the memory eraser comes alive.
Oh, Major Dad?
You almost blew his cover. Great job for changing it.
Abort mission, I repeat.
Man, Major Monogram's bought a lot of helicopters and vehicles. Just like the Dream episode, was it, when Phineas and Ferb got busted?
Agent P, your cover's been blown. We're going to have to relocate.
Man, I really like the Danville backgrounds and the houses in different angles as you get to see Isabella's house and other people's houses. This is a very well done detail right there. They put a lot of effort in the backgrounds of the buildings.
See you later, Carl. It was a lot of fun. Nice kid.
Oh, there's that house again with the bottle. From the background, was it when Major Monogram and his army surrounded the Finn Fletcher's house before aborting mission?
An anti-gravity evil launchinator. I found another one.
Our next guest is a...
Perry the Platypus is in Burbank now, in California.
Now, I understand that you're searching for a long-lost colleague.
Gordon Gassafanu appears again, just like the Christmas Vacation.
Well, I guess he found him. Hey, buddy, you forgot your pixelate...
Norm, you're spectacular.
He called him spectacular, but wait until he shows other surprises. As Norm transforms into a car for the first time in the show, you can see arms and his back and his neck starting to form a car, which is very fast, but very, very interesting.
I should really read your instruction book.
Yes, you should.
Oh, eek! It's gone!
That's a shocker.
Doofus Smirks corrected the anti-gravity launch projector before Candace and Linda get there, and Phineas and Ferb and his friends are inside the home. And also, it's illegally entering private property or staying here after being asked to leave, which can get you arrested. So Doofus is very lucky that he got it just in time. Otherwise, he would have been arrested.
Yes, you'll have your icicle popstick bride. Yay!
You got a license to drive a robot with more than 2 axles?
I'll put in the screen to show you what axles understands for.
Okay, Charlie, pull her up.
Crash your motor vehicle code!
Oh, gold stars!
Oh, there you are, Agent P. But don't feel bad. No one could ever find Agent G. What the? Agent G!
Perry the Platypus said, "Bitch, I've been searching you for a long time and I found him. You gotta give me a vacation too."
Well, Agent P deserves a vacation more than you do.
And I know it won't last long because Perry the Platypus is obsessed with finding Doofenshmirtz, as Major Monogram will call him every time.
Fortunately, evil never rests, so we'll see you tomorrow.
This is not a surprise at all. I just said it earlier.
Carl, my arm is getting tired and he won't
I'm going to give the plot a 2. I really like the idea of Carl being the main point again along with Major Monogram to find out if Phineas and Ferb are working for Doofenshmirtz, but they discover they are having a fun time just like every other adventure. I really like the idea of Perry the Platypus being distracted to go find Agent G, and which he's in space, and he captures him and he does get a vacation, which Major Monogram fortunately said evil never rests, as we do get to see in the next episode. And Doofenshmirtz, we don't get to see as much, but he did have the anti-gravity projector twice. One he built, which was taken away by the police, and the second one, which was also taken away by the police, even driving with Norm, who turned into a car. Characterization, it gets a 4. We get to see more of Major Monogram and Carl again, as he can be very bossy at times, but Carl gets the job done and he becomes undercover as he has so much fun with Phineas and Ferb and his friends. I really like how Norm is very useful as he transforms into a car for the anti-gravity projector, but he got arrested along with Doof. The rest of the people in this episode, very consistent, even though we get a lack of Candace, which is a downfall in this part, but overall, okay. The visuals will get a 4. We have a lot, including the anti-gravity in there, Carl dressing up in the sky, Perry the Platypus going to different countries to fight Agent G. Everything's happening. As much as not as spectacular as the other episode, it did very well. Importance gets a 2, but for the entertainment, it's a 5. That leaves us with a 17 out of 25. Higher than the previous episode, but still can't beat other normal episodes. Let's move on to the next one. The 90th episode overall of Phineas and Ferb is called Hip Hip Parade, written by J.G. Oratea and Perry Zobolas. Phineas and Ferb decide to spice up the yearly Tri-State Area Unification Day parade by rallying all the neighborhood kids to build their own customized floats. Unfortunately, Buford's family grudge against the parade causes him to throw the day festivity off course. Meanwhile, Candace finds it difficult to enjoy a relaxing mother-daughter day with Mom, and Dr. Doofenshmirtz plans to create traffic jams. Of course, another episode starts at the Flynn Fletcher family's house. Go figure.
Bored?
Hey guys!
The episode just started and we've already seen a front-face Phineas again.
Hey guys! What you should do? Say we're gonna fuse our nervous systems with Dad's laptop and surf the web using only our cerebral cortexes.
That would be quite an exciting project.
I like to see it, but only if we do.
Because today is the Tri-State Area Unification Day.
And we're gonna have a law on the Tri-State Area, which is very interesting.
All about it in assimilation class.
Don't forget, it takes place after the Love Handle episode, which is also in June the 15th, which is Lawrence and Linda's wedding anniversary, and also Vanessa's birthday.
Was the bi-state area. Great John P. Tri-State utter the immortal words.
The bi-state area should be united with that adjacent area.
And that become a feud when Buford enters. And also, John P. Tri-State is voiced by Swampy Marsh.
Oh, that. My Uncle Kamal is doing an exotic cuisine float in the parade.
I thought I was supposed to be the vegetable samosas. Why don't we all just dress like vegetable samosas? In fact, why don't we just all dress like mashed potatoes? No, man, it's over. I'm gonna go find another nerd.
Man, Buford can be hard at times, but he is still a good friend. But he may be a bully, but what are you gonna do?
What? Is that what this parade is for? But that adjacent area was founded by my great-uncle Otto H. Adjacent.
Well, John Tri-State trying to reunite with the bi-state area, with the different areas. By the time we get to Where's Pinky, we will learn more about the Tri-State law in Season 4.
The blood of Otto H. Adjacent runs through these veins, and blood is thicker than water. You're dead to me!
And also, don't forget about Jefferson County from Milo Murphy Law, which is also part of the tri-state area. Again, front face Phineas.
Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today instead.
Man, again.
Hey, where's Perry?
Ah, there you are, Agent P.
Another episode, we get 3 counters in the space of a couple of seconds.
Passive-aggressive relationship day? Oh, is that today? Doofenshmirtz has purchased a tow truck, which isn't evil in it.
You hear that? He said Perry in a different tone.
Are you guys just out here arranging kitty wagons? All clear.
A little to the left. There you go.
Oh, Candace, you should have double-checked, otherwise you would have told Mom straight away.
Obsess about Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, sure, Mom. I promise.
You, Candace Gertrude Flynn, solemnly swear not to obsess about your brothers. The Pharaoh's curse.
The Pharaoh's curse?
Perry the platypus! You like that? Indoorsinator. I got the idea from the pear-shaped hole you left in my wall.
Man, throughout the past season 1 and season 2, we almost know Perry the Platypus just destroyed Doofenshmirtz's doors.
My fridge. Man, you were hungry that day. Ta-da! I'm calling it the duplicatinator.
I can't believe you started a monkey basketball team.
It never gets old between the farmer's wife and the farmer's husband. As Doofenshmirtz fired the duplicatinator, as you could see, the monkey got covered in the yellow aura, and you could see many more monkeys appear.
There will be 8 times the traffic, and Danville will come to a standstill.
I didn't think none of his innators will be evil, but along with the clone one, this is very evil. To make more traffic? My gosh.
Towinator or something and open a service.
This is very difficult, but I'm not going to count it because I don't see it. And if Doofenshmirtz showed it, I would count it, but no.
I've never been bullied into stopping a parade before. What should I do?
This is the first appearance of Buford's replacement nerd, and he's voiced by Adam Wiley, who also voiced Piers in Ben 10 Alien Force.
There's only one way to get to the wrench. Cross here and through me.
Hello, Gov. Top of the morning. Toodle pip. Last night, Mr. Guffman, my toilet was broken into.
Adam Wiley really good at doing a British impression. That song is called Tri-State Unification Day, sung by none other than the great Love Handle, iconic. As Phineas leads the parade along with Love Handle, you can see John P. Tri-State, Isabella, and Phineas and Ferb are parade versions of themselves. Looks like we're gonna see these two trying to stop parade all day, but we all know it's not gonna work.
Water hazard ahead. Commence operation unforeseen circumstance.
As Ferb uses the thing to split the wheels up, as he's using a thing to drill the hole in the road to continue to bypass the water hazard, which is very, very nice.
That's too bad. Maybe you should dress like a policeman and reroute to the parade.
Man, Buford's replacement nerd is very smart, and it works, but we all know it doesn't.
Mamma mia, that was a close.
Once again at Bobby Fabulous, and Bobby Fabulous is busy with Love Handle right now. And also the fact that this is the second time we've been here since the Love Handle episode. We're getting the band back together.
You're right, Mom. This is the best. I'm not even going to think about, parade coming by. Look at that kid in the cute little car. Mom!
Man, I like how Candace tries not to mention her brothers. Otherwise, it would give her the curse. But overall, she's trying not to think about it too much.
You say something, honey?
Now they're headed for the junkyard, from whose gravitational pull it'll be impossible to escape.
And wait a minute, how did Buford get this uniform?
Ferb, treacherous terrain coming up. Execute operation, thing in our way.
No matter what Buford and his old nerd replacement does, but overall, they're very smart. Man, they're just very well prepared.
Auto Agent Jason will be avenged!
By a willy-nilly all over the place.
Doofenshmirtz is very smart this time. He knows his innators goes off every time.
By mistake. Oh, someone's at the door. What can I do?
Psych.
Believe me, I'm trying to tune it out. Remember the Pharaoh's curse. It doesn't count if she sees them herself.
Excellent thinking. That creates a loophole.
Nope, just 90. After lunch, dear. Hey, you want me to turn around? I'm turning around. Can we just eat lunch now?
Linda just doesn't see what the boys are building. I don't think it's bustable in my period. They're just making a parade, which is, in my opinion, is very, very good. And also, this takes place in early morning before lunch.
I know it is going to be something.
Shit, the other accents were amusing, but that one's just offensive.
He's actually speaking in a German accent.
I'm firing you as my nerd.
Das ist nicht gut.
He also said that is not good in a German accent. And also, I don't know what his name is, so I'm going to be making a name. I decided to generate a name, and I'm going to call him Joshua. Josh for short.
Well, that's weird that our floats are floating away.
Here comes one of the iconic guys that will never get boring in the show.
A platypus balloon? A parry the platypus balloon!
Man, it's just too iconic.
I can't take it anymore. Mom, I really tried my best to give you a day.
It's all just one big place. No bi-state area, no adjacent area. It's all just one big tri-state area. Right over there.
He started to realize the tri-state area is a tri-state area, and all coming together.
My bully is in trouble. Let go of all of your balloons, you.
No, thank you, vegetable samosa.
Did you guys see that? Let's investigate.
Uh-oh, the Air Force is here. Oh my word.
Grand finale, so spectacular.
And that won't be the last time we hear about it, because he's also thinking about the grand finale in Isabella's birthday.
Tri-state unification day.
Yeah, just some Unification Day parade stuff.
Wait, no, Buford, no, please don't.
He's a semi-aquatic, egg-laying mammal of action.
Man, can you imagine Buford killed Baljeet?
Missed you, Baljeet.
Right back at you, buddy.
And thus the universe is balanced.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mrs. Flynn Fletcher.
Hi, Phineas and Ferb's mom. Say cheese.
I forgot Evian is here. I forgot about it. Just like when Lawrence became a robot or the Mayor Festival, you get to see familiar characters in the background.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's that same attendant from Are You My Mommy in season 1.
Candace Gertrude Flynn.
And this is the second time that her middle name's been mentioned. The first one being Fireside Girl Jamboree.
Curse you.
He did say curse you, but he didn't say curse you that, so I'm not gonna count it.
I tried to
For
warn
another
you.
episode like this, he gets a 2. I really like the idea of Phineas and Ferb and his friends helping the parade for the Tri-State Unification Day, while Buford and Josh trying to stop the parade while they failed. And Buford starting to realize in the end, it's just a big tri-state area. It's no JC area. It's no Jefferson area. It's just the tri-state area. And also I really like Doof and Perry and the gag with Perry the Platypus Balloon. The characterization we get for everyone's very consistent in this episode. And we get to see more Candace spending time with his mom, even though she tried to bust her brothers in the end, which she failed once again. I really like Doof and Perry as well. And also the nerd we get to see in a few cameos later on. And Buford, even though he's been a bit of an idiot in this episode, he started to realize in the end that it's a big tri-state area. And he's starting to come to fruition. The visuals, surprisingly, I'll give it a 5. I really like the parades of Phineas and Ferb and his friends, Candace going out with Linda, also the Perry Platypus balloon with the other balloon, the Innators, and a lot of things happening, including the vegetable samosa that Baljeet cosplay. A lot of good things happening there. Importance gets a 2 because of the tri-state area lore and the music and a lot of things there, but not as memorable in importance as the other episodes. Entertainment's a 5 though. And that leaves off with an 18 out of 25, higher than the previous episode, which is a massive improvement. Let's move on to the next one. J.J. Ortega and Perry Soboff wrote another episode called The Invasions of the Ferb Snatchers. Premiered on February the 20th, 2010 on Disney XD, and this will be a short breakdown. After watching an all-night science fiction movie marathon, Candace is convinced that Ferb is an alien and gathers the evidence to prove it. Meanwhile, Dr. Doofus is trying to sell an evaluator under the guise of it being a cleaning device. Phineas and Ferb watching the invasion overlord while Candace is joining in, which actually gets an inspiration in this episode.
Once they've replaced more than 51% of all the humans, they can assume control of the Earth for their own nefarious purposes.
The clear sign is that they can safely remove any human head and replace it with their multi-eyed, shape-shifting one.
In Candace's point of view, the main plot in this episode focuses on finding out if Ferb is an alien.
So do I. Tell Uncle Angus and Aunt Maura thanks for the candy.
Today, Scotland out, Pete.
Ferb's talking to his Scottish cut, which is his only appearance, and he's voiced by Carlos Salazar, the voice of Bobby Fabulous. There are many times Candace is stupid and doesn't double check while seeing silhouettes and different things instead of seeing closely to Ferb. She has in the panic room just like Finnetroids and Ferb, which is a good callback.
My brother's an alien? How cool is that? But I think you may be letting your imagination get the best of you, sis.
And it turned out that Phineas was right, as Candace didn't pay attention to it. The song is called You're Not Ferb, sung by Danny Jacob, and this is a song about Ferb being an alien, which is not the case.
See? Proof positive. Ferb is an alien.
Listen, Candace, as cool as it would be for Ferb to be an alien, that's sadly not the case. Our dear sister here thinks you may be a sinister extraterrestrial visitor. Must mean this reverse power coupling unit we're repairing.
Which closes the case very quickly, as Ferb is not an alien, but there is an alien there.
Even though Ferb's not an alien, we are fixing a spacecraft for a friend of Meep.
Which is a very good callback, as they mention Meep again.
How cool is this? Busted!
You two have done a great job repairing my ship.
No problem, Garbog.
As Phineas and Ferb build an alien for Garber, as he only appears in 2 episodes, which one more will be in season 3. While plotly focused on Perry the Planet finding out Doofus is selling an Anator.
You're wrapped up in a nice little bow, Enator. Large red button. See? Wrapped up in a nice little bow. And firm, I am flexible, so make me an offer.
Just like the previous episode in Hip Hip Parade, the Anator goes willy-nilly all over the place. While Perry takes care of him and the Anator just with ease. While not being surprised that every of Phineas and Ferb's inventions disappear again. While the story was very interesting, it keeps you engaged. I really like how Candace thinks that Ferb is an alien, which he's not, as they're trying to build a spaceship for Meat's best friend, Burbop. It is cliche, but it's just the plot is very good.
Très bien, Monsieur Monogram, très bien.
Bonjour, Carl.
Bonjour, madame.
Much is this costing us, Carl?
Un petit fortune.
Petite. That means small, right?
Everyone's very consistent once again in this episode, as Ferb, as usual, focusing on him as he's not an alien. I really like to see Candace building up the conspiracy theory on Ferb, which he's not an alien, as we get to see it Meat's friend who goes into his new spaceship. And everyone else is very consistent. Overall, there are a lot of good designs, including the song, Ferb being an alien, which builds up to it, and Doofus and Perry. The rest are very, very good and very simple. It doesn't get much remembrance as the other episodes, but there's still a lot of cliches and movies like this, which was the reason why it gets a high points. With the episode, other the rest is not boring. There are a lot of cliches, movies, and that will keep you interested, and it actually makes you laugh or gag or make you be shocked or whatever. Overall, the episode was pretty good and very interesting. It may have some cliches, but it just keeps your eyes, and the gags are very funny too. And there are a lot of things to keep you interested, just like the many of the episode. If this is the episode that you want to watch for cliches as well, then Invasion of the First Snatchers is for you.
I was a fool!
Shem Cohen and Chong Lee wrote another episode of Phineas and Ferb called Ain't No Kiddie Ride, premiered on February the 20th, 2010 on Disney XD. Phineas and Ferb decide to trick out the kiddie rides in front of the Tri-State Mart. Candace sits in a rocket ride so it can't go anywhere, but the ride shoots off and she ends up on a high-flying rocket across Danville. Meanwhile, Doofus plans to leave behind a legacy by burning his name into the atmosphere. Haven't been in the mega superstore since Vanessa Roughness.
Hey, Candace, at least let me stop the car.
They park in the same lane, but the cars are different in different sides.
I want you boys to pick out some nice back-to-school clothes.
Wait a minute, back to school? But, could this take place in 2 summers? But the creator said it takes place in 1 summer, season 1 and season 4. You can see Phineas's red hair has been detached. That has to be an animated error.
Although Perry's mixing it up a bit. With this many quarters, we can play 72 straight hours of, hey, check it out.
These old fellows are pretty worn out. I'll be back in a little while to haul them away.
Which he does at the end of the episode. And this is the second time we get to see young Phineas. Well, he does get to play with Perry in, Oh, There You Are, Perry. Actually, this is the 3rd time because in the flashback episode in Candace's dream, was it when Little Brothers?
Ferb, I know what we're gonna... Hey, where's Perry?
You're messing up my school!
Oh yeah, Buford and Baljeet will join in later.
I don't smell too bad, do I?
I can't smell a thing, sir. I have no sense of smell.
Really?
I was born without nostrils, sir.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz has been buying up every can of aerosol deodorant in the tri-state area. You to find out what he's doing with all those aerosol spray cans and...
Doofenshmirtz walks to the diner. Hey, Vic! You got an order for Doofy Bird?
Man, I hate that shit so much. Pronouncing your name badly on purpose. Man, Doofenshmirtz have every right to be pissed.
Okay, order for Hans Doofenshmirtz. Roger Doofenshmirtz is your brother?
Yes, Doofenshmirtz.
Yes, she got it right, but she actually comes back to her stupidity.
Do we have an order for a Hans Doofenblatt?
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Man, I don't blame Doof for getting angry for this.
The name of Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
Of course, we see another front face Phineas. Go figure.
What you doing?
Oh, hey, Isabella. You tricked it out, and now it's pretty awesome.
Ooh, this is so exciting.
May I suggest pressing that red button?
Man, how is Buford not suffocating? And also, we get to see another version of the picture of the Earth instead of traditional drawn. To be honest, that is smart thinking from Doofus, but Perry won't even get out of this one unless...
I'm sure you've noticed my impressive collection of aerosol spray cans.
You're still gonna call it the spray cans, but you should have called it the spray canninator.
My latest evil scheme. Aerosol propelled ozone depletinator!
Same Doof, same after I speak in my breakdowns.
I bet Phineas and Ferb are behind this. I'm going to sit here on the evidence till Mom comes back.
Sure thing, Candace, sit in this rocket thing to make sure that Phineas and Ferb gets busted. Do not go willy-nilly or something bad will happen.
Be worth a quarter.
Or something like that.
Hang on, Candace, we're coming.
Hey, it's the same rapper from Squirrels on My Pants and the announcer from, what episode was it? Was it when Lawrence and Candace won the sack race? The song is called Ain't No Kiddie Ride, which is the song of the episode. And also there are plenty demo versions of other songs as well, but I won't be doing that until we get to Summer Belongs to You, but in a detailed way. You spin me right wrong, baby, right wrong. Man, for a smart genius, Baljeet's got some moves. Go Baljeet!
Isabella, we need you to get us an aerial view.
Sure, Phineas.
Well, what do you know?
It's actually a different farmer, not the farmer or the wife from a couple of gags ago, but I wish it was them. It would have been hilarious.
Wow, she just flew through a barn and her lips are still shiny. But all I have is $1.
That was one of the most underrated gags. Baljeet puts his money in there, and it still doesn't accept.
Water. It's like drinking wet air.
Same doof, same.
Scream the name Heinz Doofenshmirtz and never forgets it again.
That is very smart from Perry, but do throw in the water. He should have just thrown it in the bin, but throwing in the spray was a big mistake, and it allowed Perry to use the spray to break free. And that is the first and only appearance we get to see of the Danville Canyon, as we don't get to see much, as many episodes as we thought. Man, I really like this part as well. The song of the Phineas and Ferb instrumental theme. Man, how could you hate Ferb? He doesn't speak, he doesn't talk, he's a man of action.
I gotta hand it to you. Here, let me give you a hand. Crush you with my deep mechanical hand.
That soundtrack was used in the second dimension.
But I've got you now.
I think Perry would have took care of himself and he would have found a way, but Candace did it for him.
What was I thinking? Curse you, Betty the Platypus!
Good work, everybody. Let's bring it on back to the store.
I like how the back closes inside of it. Very cool.
Oh, there you are, Perry.
These old rides with brand new identical.
Repairman is voiced by D. Bradley Baker.
With special emphasis on the identical.
Well, that was fun. Maybe tomorrow we can soup up our old bikes. Late!
Phineas mentioning about the bike, could we be a plot of when Buford stole the bikes, which led to Summer Belongs to You towards the end, near the end?
Aren't you a little old for kiddie rides?
No, I'm not. Check it out.
I guess it does have rocking back and forth and slowness.
This time, it wasn't Doofus doing this. It was been taken away, which was replaced. Poor Baljeet. He's been standing there trying to put the dollar in the bite, and he lost it. Poor Baljeet. Just like every episode, I'm going to give the plot a 2. We get to see more of Phineas and Ferb and his friend doing something different, but this time they're going on the kiddie rides, but just to have fun, which is very, very interesting. And also, Candace is also part of this as well. And Ferb did a good idea to use a coin to save her. Doofenshmirtz's plan is to make sure he uses the spray to remember his name, which is not that evil, but Perry stopped him anyway, along with Candace crushing it, which helped. The characterization will get a 4. Everyone else is very consistent once again, as even though it wasn't the best episode or the greatest episode, it's just that the characterization has always been there. The visuals will get a 4. I really like how Phineas and Ferb and his friend uses the kiddie rides. There is a lot of movement, while Candace does well as well, along with everyone else. Doofenshmirtz and Perry fighting each other again. Well, Doofenshmirtz trying to use the spirit as it didn't happen. Overall, the visuals done very well. Importance, it gets a 1. Overall, the song and there's many references, but that's it. It's not as memorable as the other episodes. While the entertainment side just never disappoints. That leaves us with a 16 out of 25. Overall, that's just okay-ish, but not the best, not the worst, but overall, even though it's a fun, entertaining episode, it's not as memorable as it is, but I can't stop you. If you want to watch it, it's fine. But overall, it's still entertaining nonetheless. Let's move on to the next one. Another episode of Kim Robertson and Kaz writing another episode of Phineas and Ferb called Not Phineas and Ferb, premiered on February the 27th, 2010 on Disney XD. Ivian's brother doesn't believe that Phineas and Ferb are anything special. Despite to prove him wrong, Ivian convinces Buford and Baljeet to pose as Phineas and Ferb. Doofus plans to fly all over the world to capture famous landmarks shrink down to size to put around the model train set. Once again, just like in every episode that I break down so far, it starts at the Finn Fletcher's house as the sun rises, which is very cool.
I know what we're gonna do today.
I really like how Phineas and Ferb rooms lay out. You can see a globe in the middle, picture frames, a tank behind Phineas, a lot of cool layouts, and also the thing next to Ferb, which is similar to Doctor Who.
Space adventure, it's an adventure in space.
Space adventure gets mentioned again since Are You My Mommy in season 1, and also it gets brought back in Candace Against the Universe. Another reason why Candace is relatable wearing headphones while their brother's screaming adventure space. I don't blame them, but I don't blame Candace even though she hears it. This is the first time we get to see Ivian's house, and it looks pretty detailed. Has the windows, the doors, the two grass, and the car as well. Very nice touch and very good.
Phineas and Ferb are awake!
Man, Ivian has the pictures of Phineas and Ferb. He is obsessed, but you kind of being the stalker right now, Ivian.
What'd you lock your door for, Irving?
The first appearance of Ivian's brother, Albert Dubois, and he's voiced by none other than Diedrich Bader, who's gone on to do more roles in Phineas and Ferb. Nice.
It's a good thing I used an old secret military technique I taught myself.
Phineas and Ferb are not dorks. They are the coolest exponents of awesome stupefaction in the universe.
That's what Ivian is, just like Phineas and Ferb fans, which is very awesome.
And can we talk about all these pictures?
What, too obsessive? A solar-powered flock of mechanical hummingbirds.
Yeah, right.
That's a hoax.
Albert doesn't see it in this episode, but he does in the future.
I suppose this cold fusion-powered merry-go-round they built was a hoax too. It's not fake. Phineas and Ferb really build these things, and I'll prove it to you.
Man, just like every episode of Phineas and Ferb when Candace tries to bust his brothers and it becomes poor timing, but this is happening to Ivian as well. Phineas and Ferb are going to see a movie called Adventure in Space while Ivian's trying to go to the backyard to check them what they're building, which is poor timing as we get to see it.
Agent P, I've instituted a new short-order message technique.
And no one gets to see, hey, was Perry, but overall you don't need it all the time, but it should have been.
Adam and Eve on a raft.
In dinner lingo, it means 2 scrambled eggs on toast.
Dad, it's called Space Adventure. It's an adventure in space.
Man, Lawrence is sleeping in the cinema while even Phineas and Ferb, Pedro and the other kids are enjoying it. And this is the second time that Lawrence sleeps in the film, while the one was in season 1, Are You My Mommy?
Phineas! Ferb!
They went to the movies.
Albert goes back to boarding school tomorrow.
I just found out, yes, you can go to boarding school in the summer. And also, Albert is the same age as Candace, who is 15. So it's between the ages of 14 and 16. I really like how Jeff Swampy Marshall, Dan, all the other writers done their research to search for it, which is very interesting.
I can project one of their projects right into the yard here. See?
As Baljeet turns on the projector, you can see the light reflecting while it's still in the daytime. As you can see, the time machine from Phineas and Ferb, the Conte Bagaloo appears until the Eiffel Tower appears.
Phineas and Ferb built a full-scale replica of the Eiffel Tower.
And we do get to see it later in this episode when Doofusman stole it, and also in Summer Belongs to You.
Albert is impossible to fool. They call him the truth detector. I've got a crazy idea. Time for a makeover.
Full steam ahead.
Didn't do the ringtone of Doofusman Evil Incorporated.
Oh, Perry the Platypus. Hello.
At least he's opening the door instead of destroying the door.
Scale model litter. Shameful.
Father, may I play with my trains now?
9!
Man, poor Doofenshmirtz. Man, another one of their parents being assholes.
Which is why I'm going to travel the globe. See, the shrinking array is for the shrinking.
There's a lot of shrinking in the Phineas and Ferb. The shrinking submarine, the shrinking Nator, and the shrinking machine.
First up, Cairo, Egypt.
What? No! You can't both be Phineas.
Phineas gets all the line.
I like how they explain it again in this show. Like, if you never watched Phineas and Ferb and you watched this episode the first time, well, this is the recommendation for you to learn that Ferb doesn't speak.
Irving, I thought you were pulling my leg, but this is remarkable. Oh, when am I gonna meet this Phineas and Ferb?
Oh.
Hello! I think you know what we are doing today.
Phineas, Ferb, this is my older brother Albert.
Remember earlier when I accused you of pulling the wool over my eye? Well, I take it back!
What?
So, tell me about this Eiffel Tower.
And Mexican.
It's French, Buford, not Mexican.
I thought it was French.
I just said the same thing before he said it. It happens every other Phineas and Ferb episode.
No, I mean, I know they would love to.
Hi, Phineas. Hi, Ferb. Okay, what you doing?
I think this is rare in season 1 and season 2 that Alison Stoner's voice line wasn't re-recorded, but this is something new. Evian tells Isabella that it's an act, and Balji and Buford pretending to be Phineas and Ferb.
What you doing?
Nice!
The simplicity of the design enhances its innovation.
We're in Egypt. It's because of the pyramids and the pharaoh. I really like how we see the details of it and the pyramids. I wish we got more detail, but that's the best.
Gotcha. Now I switch on my shrink.
And that was the same tune that we used in Are You My Mummy, was it, when Candace was a mummy pretending to chase Phineas and Ferb.
And it's mine now. You know the saying, honk if you love evil.
She still listened to the Pacey Sideburn bottle, which is in the Fireside Girl Jamboree in the end.
Okay, Phineas and Ferb are standing in the yard with two nerds, Isabella and the Eiffel Tower. Those aren't my brothers. What? Is that Buford and Baljeet? If those aren't my brothers, why am I calling my mom? Why not call Buford and Baljeet's mom?
Come on, Candace, you know this isn't a real Eiffel Tower. It's a hologram. Just go outside and see it. Come on.
I'll call that dork Irving's mom too. And what the heck? Why leave my mom out of the party?
Information, please.
So we have the Great Wall of China and the shrinks and the teeny Tower of Pizza.
And that won't be the last time we hear Doofenshmirtz say a leaning tower of pizza, as once we get to We Call It a Maze, where Doofenshmirtz is in space with Perry, he shows him the demonstration of the leaning tower of pizza.
Roman Colosseum.
Which actually appears again in Summer Belongs to You when the song called Bouncing Around the World.
Because last but not least...
Oh yeah, the song Bollywood is reused again. And that was a sound. That was in Unfair Science Fair. And we get to see Taj Mahal. I really like the buildings, the structure, and the details with it before Doofenshmirtz shrank it. And also, they're in India.
And let the fun begin!
I can turn my head completely around.
Wow. Well, it's been a real pleasure and an honor to meet you guys.
Man, Albert is so dumb. Why couldn't he see both of them in their masks? I really like Isabel having her hands in her chin and then she has her hands on the hips. Very nice continuity detail.
I am at a loss for words, dude.
So do I, Evian. So do I.
Roman Colosseum.
I put in the screen of list of Doofenshmirtz stole and shrank so that I won't fully explain it. Perry the Platypus using Big Ben to escape the trap.
So your super senses weren't tingling when, oh, I don't know, Ferb had eyes in his mouth?
What are you talking about?
I can't believe how gullible you are. There was two kids in costume, and that Eiffel Tower was a hologram.
Evian, why you gotta do this, man? 1 minute you don't want to show him, and the next you want to reveal the truth. Man, this is what real people does that in real life.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's go back, and I'll show you.
What did you think, Isabella? Was I a convincing Phineas?
No, you weren't.
Isabella's not convinced of Baljeet being Phineas. Of course she prefers the real Phineas.
Wait, what are you doing? Hey, Betty the Platypus, I saved the Trifle Tower. It'll make it grow. And now I'm shrunk.
As Perry the Platypus changed the shrink rate to make it bigger, as Doofus gets covered in that green aura, as you can see his face, as the Eiffel Tower goes larger and larger, as it gets away and drops down into the backyard, while Doofus Mertz shrunk.
What was that?
I think it was my stomach. I told you I'm starved.
We talk about unfortunate timing in this episode, but this is another one with the case.
No one pulls the wool over the eyes of the truth detector.
I got a call from Candace
Who said something about our sons and busting?
And this is the first appearance of Buford's mom, Biffany Van Storm, and she's voiced by Paloma Allen, who also got on to voice other roles in Phineas and Ferb too, Melanie, as we get to see later in the Beak episode, and she also voices Milo Murphy's mom, Bridget Murphy, on Milo Murphy's Law.
Hello, Linda.
Ding.
Are Irving and Albert okay?
And we get the first appearance of Evian and Albert's mom, Mr. Bohr. And she looks so stunning, I can't believe it. And she is voiced by Amber Villela, who also was in Trainspotting 2 as Audrey Billings. Funny enough, in my fan fiction, Hendrix Linguistics, that I made, is also named Audrey Billings.
All right, put up your dukes. Wait, what are you doing?
Man, Perry the Platypus is not really fazed by tiny doofus verses.
Know what, Ferb?
We're over it.
Yes, we are. Candace, you built this? Nice to see you're starting to take an interest.
It's invisible!
Just like in Don't Even Blink, where Phineas and Ferb and his friends watching and waiting.
And look! Here are Buford and Baljeet, your sons being bad!
Guys, it'll come off in a...
Why are you pulling them? That's gonna hurt their faces.
Yes, it does.
3 in the counter of Too Young, it started to catch up as it doesn't get rarely used.
I hope you got cookies.
Of course, Bethany.
And that's Buford's mom's first name, as Linda mentioned it. Nice.
Let me guess, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes.
Buford said Goody Two-Shoes once again since Get Ready for a Treehouse fight, which also was it when he tried to put pigeon goo on his brother Roger.
No! Oh, curse you, Barry the Platypus!
I wonder where we start. The plot gets a 2. The episode switches a bit with Evian trying to find out Phineas and Ferb was here, but instead they went to see a movie called Adventure Space, as Buford Baljeet fills in the Phineas and Ferb role while they did the job, but Albert didn't suspect the thing, which is stupid. Also, Candace calling the moms in the end, which is pretty funny. Some of the jokes are just over the top, but it's okay. And the plot about Doofus shrinking the architects around the world to use them as toys for trades, but Perry did stop him. Characterization will get a 4. Even though Evian's annoying, you gotta respect that he's a fan of Phineas and Ferb, as it's becoming a non-stop session, and this is the first appearance of Albert as we get to see more of him in the future. And also we get to see Evian's mom, Buford's mom, and Baljeet's mom again in the end of the episode to see what they're like. Overall, everyone else is very consistent, even though there's a lack of Phineas and Ferb, but overall Candace still busting for other reasons. The visuals will get a 3, even though it lacks the enthusiasm of other episodes of Phineas and Ferb. I really like Doofus shrinking the buildings of the architects that he shrunk, and also I really like how we get to see Albert, the hologram, the Eiffel Tower, Buford, Baljeet, and Evian's mom towards the end. There are some solid things, but not quite as spectacular. Importance, it gets a 1. The reason why I give it a 1 because of the spatial adventure and the continuity from the previous episode that the other characters are mentioned. And that's it. For importance terms, it's not as memorable as the other episodes that we get on later. Entertainment, it's a 5. Even though the plot or the story sometimes doesn't make any sense, but the entertainment side, it just keeps your eyes engaged, just like every episode of Phineas and Ferb. That leaves off with a 15 out of 25. I don't think it's mediocrity at best. It was, to be honest, it was a pretty meh episode. I despised this episode as a kid, and I don't really now, but overall, this episode just grown on me. Aliki Theophilopoulos and Anton Gilbrand wrote another episode of Phineas and Ferb called Phineas and Ferb Busters, premiered on February the 27th, 2010 on Disney XD. Candace enlists her friends Stacy and Jane to help her bust her brothers. Meanwhile, Phineas and Ferb create an unlimited power supply to propel off group of cyclone-like vehicles. Elsewhere, a new replacement robot for Norm has been called into action.
Ooh, you are so busted.
Man, she is pressing her face with a window. That's weird.
Tra-la-la, hey, hey! Huh? Mom! See? What?
Hey, Mom. Hey, Candace.
But
She tied her hair into a knot. That's crazy. As it fades to nighttime, as it goes back to daytime, as you can hear Candace saying, but, it slows down a bit as time passes.
You've inspired me. I'm growing out my bang.
Namaste, compadres.
As Candace talking to her, you can see Isabella magically appear in one frame.
That's what the Fireside Girls say.
teamwork?
Sure. How do you think I got this mountain moving patch? No, through teamwork. See that mountain over there? It used to be over there.
How the fuck did that get here? That has to be Doofenshmirtz doing it, or something.
You can do anything.
That's true. She earns 50 patches in one day, remember?
Stacy, I know what we're gonna do today.
It is Nerd Awareness Week.
Spinning tops
Lame.
of doom.
The way Baljeet said Doom sounds like the transporter of Doom, which is the Flash game. And I used to play it back in the day, and it's awesome. Have you played it too? Let me know in the comments down below.
You hold your top, and then you spin.
Baljeet called them the spinning tops of Doom, which is a similar title in Kim Possible.
So then what?
You do it again. It is lame, isn't it?
Distinct lack of egg-laying mammals around here.
Where's Perry? Oh, there you are. Didn't, see ya. Well, how did...
And he's hiding behind the desk. That's magic trick, Agent P.
Questions? Stacy.
Do you have this jumpsuit in pink? Because I'm not really a tangerine.
The costumes that Candace, Jenny, and Stacy are wearing are reference to Totally Spies.
Why is everything so difficult?
She'll be done with all this busting stuff for good.
I love orange.
And I'm all about persimmon. Well, ladies, welcome to Bust Camp.
The song is called Bust Your Brothers, as Candace, Stacey, and Jenny go through a boot camp, which is a bus camp. I like the wink that Candace gave. Also, I found the image, and this is the episode, Phineas and Ferb Busters. I like how Candace, Jenny, and Stacey are prepared to make sure that Phineas and Ferb gets busted. I always knew that reference as a kid, which is actually a reference to Charlie's Angels.
I've still got that terrible morning taste in my mouth.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah! Ow!
When you touch hot stuff, it burns you, and it really, really hurts. It happens to me a few times.
You'll be so delighted when your package arrives in 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, not another platypus. I was hoping for something more like Manny the Mongoose.
Doofus mentioned Manny the Mongoose, as he doesn't appear until Phineas and Ferb Save Summer, which is in season 4, which is a long, long way to go.
Perry the platypus! Hello to my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. My new Strike-Jacketinator! My other little friend. It may be small, but it's stronger and smarter than Norm.
848?
How is this even supposed to work?
Wake up! Wake up!
We use the following busting jargon. When Mom comes home, the cue is the condor is in the nest.
It's the peas are in the pod. The banana has split. Got it? That's the mom signal. Ladies, it's go time. Mom! Phineas and Ferb have built outer space in our backyard.
Candace and her friends are very well prepared now that she's trying to bust her brothers, and every time it happens, they fail. But can Candace succeed with her friends? I'm not sure.
Nice drill, ladies. I'm loving teamwork.
Nice usses. When'd you make those?
Of course, it can't talk, but that can be a good thing. Next, I'm thinking of a platypus puree. I'm quite obsolete.
Now I know I have a heart. because it's breaking.
Even though Doofus must build a new robot, that is very harsh. I know Norm can be useless at times, but he can be useful, as we get to see in the end.
Nah, I still say it's lame.
Fair enough.
Imagine he gets on. Can you imagine? Would Phineas and Ferb be busted? That happens to me at times. Do not place your hand in the mirror or something. It will just break.
So we created a power source that will radiate energy across the yard to anything that needs it. But that was... Good one, Badgie.
I'm going for my bumper car.
Man, I want to ride one of these, but it can be dangerous, as we get to see later on.
In. Rock and roll.
Of course, Buford had to do it, and that's going to cause a massive wave of EMP traveling around the tri-state area.
What's going on? Why are they going so fast?
If I was in that position, I'd be shit scared by now.
Look at him, he's positively shaking with anticipation.
Oh boy, Doof, you have no idea now that Buford's called the EMP around the tri-state area. As the small robot builds up as it grows taller as the hands extend, you can see many layers are growing taller as Perry the Platypus see the shadow overlapping as the robot grew taller and taller.
Move, Benchworks. Your pathetic schemes have all failed. Step aside and let the crewmaster take over.
And shoot to her!
Harry the Platypus, my fight is with the two Benchmarks, not you.
Man, he just flicks Perry away and he doesn't care. He just wants Doof, so Perry and Doof are not fighting each other this time.
An unusual power wave has struck the city with potentially disastrous consequences.
And he realizes in the backyard where his owners is. Of course, Buford caused all of this.
You'll see. Just wait.
So, I'm guessing your brothers are doing something wildly dangerous?
Even if Candace trains with her friends and herself, she has to bring her mom straight away, but she's just waiting for the signal, which is a mistake, I believe.
Before my bladder bursts like a water balloon.
Come on, girls. Give me the code.
She doesn't know the EMP power wave caused the energy surge of the communicators to go down.
I don't know. How can she not hear this racket? No way. Not until I get the signal.
Candace, for fuck's sake, just bring her to the backyard. Just don't wait for the signal, for crying out loud.
Sorry, sir. No can do. I'm bringing coffee to the new boss.
I don't want to be a smoothie!
Man, the robot's gonna kill Doofus, man. Even though he's trying to take over the tri-state area with his innators or his shenanigans, but he doesn't deserve that. Oh my word. Norm throws the coffee just like earlier to destroy the robot.
There was no rug, sir. Aw, thank you, Norm.
How come you were not affected by that strange energy thing?
I run on squirrel power.
Of course, why not? Squirrels. Squirrels everywhere. But Perry the Platypus used that as an advantage in season 3 called Norm Unleashed when he threw the acorn or nuts in that episode when he tried to take over the tri-state area while Doof was in court.
This is getting a little uncomfortable. Eject, everybody.
As Ferb is the latest to eject, you can see the backgrounds change to a front yard to a lot of buildings in the tri-state area. And you can see their friends jumping down as many of the spinning things go up in the sky.
I lied about the persimmon.
Man, Perry's lucky that Stacy and Jenny doesn't turn around. Perry got lucky in 3 occasions that his cover could have been blown.
Not again.
We were just playing with our tops.
Giant tops of doom.
Lame. You girls are beginning to sound a lot like Candace.
And all the right reasons as they saw it.
But you said to wait until she offers pie.
Oh, good idea.
Me.
Us.
Man, Buford's not enjoying himself. That is unlike Buford, but sometimes he does act like that.
Oh, there you are, Perry.
Oh, I like the way Phineas pats him as like a pet. He's really very good to Perry. To give the ratings. Surprisingly, I'm going to give the plot a 3. I really like the idea that Candace's friends, Stacy and Jenny, go to bus camp to help Candace bust her brothers while Phineas and Ferb are using the inventions again. But overall, it didn't come as good as you think. But It's a very good idea. And Doofusbert replacing the small robot, even though he's weaker than all, until the EMP wave caused by Buford to become a giant killer robot, and he almost killed Doofusbert, but thankfully Norm saved him. Characterization is a 5. We get to see more Candace interacting her friends Stacy and Jenny to help Candace bust her brother, as Phineas and Ferb and his friends as usual do adventures. Also, it's nice to see Norm being appreciated in the end after Doofusbert was almost killed. And he is run by Squirrel Power, and he can be useful at times. We get to see more of Norm in season 3. The visuals will get a 4. Importance gets a 2. It may not be rememberable, but there are so many important things that you can get out from this episode. Entertainment's a 5. Why not? That gives us a 19 out of 25. Is it my favorite episode? No. Is it a good episode? Yes. It really has everything. Inventions, teamwork, robots, and everything. There's a lot to put through in this episode. Let's move on to the next one. The 95th episode overall of Phineas and Ferb is called The Lizard Whisperer, written by Chong Lee and Sher Cohen, which will be his last in Phineas and Ferb. Thanks you for your contribution, Sher Cohen. Phineas and Ferb find a chameleon in the backyard who grows the size of a dinosaur thanks to Doofusbert's giant annator, and it takes a walk through downtown. Meanwhile, Jeremy teaches a song to Doofusbert, who plans to use it to summon aliens to do his bidding.
The ultimate frozen yogurt machine. We have enough frozen yogurt to last the entire summer.
Frozen yogurts? I'll try it.
Check that out, Ferb. Hey there, little guy. Yeah, sorry. We don't have mushroom and larva flavor.
Lizards actually insects, spiders, and even other lizards, with fruits and vegetables added in when it's available. But Steve doesn't eat things like yogurt, but he does eat other things when we get to see it. Steve the lizard eats mushrooms, which is a vegetable, which lizards eat.
Ferb?
Hey guys, what you doing?
Cool, he disappeared.
As Steve disappears as he forms into a camel, but he goes right back up, just like the lizards in real life.
Lizard is a North American chameleon.
Then we'll name him Steve, because he looks like a Steve.
To be honest, I name my pets different names, but I don't mind it. In the Christmas episode, Jeremy has a different guitar as he's using the same guitar from season 1. And also there's a picture of Candace riding, which is in the bully code.
Dr. Six Strings.
You're calling Jeremy nicknames while he doesn't give you one since the Baljeetles.
Now that's banter. That thing's not going anywhere. You guys are so busted this time.
I bet Perry's gonna love Steve. Hey, where's Perry?
In fact, he just outbid me on this sweet vintage solid body.
Ouch, you totally got sniped.
That's what happened to every people when they're trying to get it and it's been taken away from them by someone else in the bidding.
Hi, Mr. Doofenshmirtz.
Actually, it's Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
This is like no kiddie ride when Doofenshmirtz reminds them as Dr. Doofenshmirtz. But overall, he's fine with Mr. Doofenshmirtz.
Melody that I'd like to learn how to perpetrate.
Doofenshmirtz got the guitar that Major Monograms was trying to get earlier, and he outbid him.
Oh, a guitar player, huh?
Yup. Nah, not really into the heavy stuff.
Man, if Jeremy's flirting with Vanessa, Candace will go ape shit.
It's so hard to see all these little notes.
And Jerry accidentally used the giant annator to make Steve look big, the lizard.
Try to make it as obvious as possible. Prototype Gigantinator.
As Steve the lizard's getting covered in that green orb fired by Jeremy by the giant annator, as you can see his legs are growing big, as well as the rest of his hands and body's growing along with it, as Steve is bigger than the backyard caused by Doofenshmirtz's annator. I really like seeing the Flynn Fletcher's house as you get to see Steve being bigger and the backgrounds of the tri-state area with the building there. And we're knowing Steve is going down to cause havoc in the tri-state area.
Guys, look at where you're standing.
It's a huge footprint.
A huge chameleon footprint. The rest of the tracks lead into the city.
We're coming to save you, Steve.
And that's where Steve is going. Isabella's very smart though.
What's so special about this freaky guitar song?
Pyramids of Egypt!
I remember Doofenshmirtz stole one of it in Not Phineas and Ferb, which we did a breakdown earlier.
And then it hit me. The answer to my quest was staring me in the face.
Looks like Doofenshmirtz is lucky to find the signs of the things in Egypt as he scans it.
Hieroglyphics was a seemingly random series of musical notes.
They help with alien intelligence. The Egyptians learned how to play a cryptic guitar solo that would summon an alien armada to help them perform feats of mind-blowing power.
He is now in my very hands, and I will become overlord of the tri-state area! It's just, I'm used to doing all the talking with my nemesis.
And he is right behind you.
Hey, my friends have a pet platypus.
Is he fierce, cunning, and good with a grappling?
Perry's like, oh shit, Jeremy knows who I am. I better not blow my cover.
Well, let's take another shot at learning this solo.
Yet Perry the Platypus using the plunger, and he has to wait there until Jeremy leaves, which is a long, long wait.
Hey, Doc, not bad. I think you might be getting it.
Whoa!
Man, Ferb is not scared. I really like him.
What?
I like his eyes while he turns into a chameleon, as you can see the billboard right there as he's connected to the dog, which is hilarious. Front face Phineas.
Mom! Dinosaur! Follow me!
Hey, where'd it go? Hi, boys. What are you doing here?
Steve!
Is he invisible?
Yes, he is.
And that's once again mentions invisible, as we do have one in Don't Even Blink.
Invisible friends up. I'm so getting to the bottom of this.
Sorry to bother you, Agent Pee-wee. Just wanted to let you know we'd be temporarily unavailable. Oh, and Carl wants to go check it out.
Temporary unavailable? Can you send more OWCA for backup for Perry, or...
Moving my amplifier out onto the port will blast my scorching guitar licks in all the...
As the amplifier builds up, as you can see, the music start to draw in space. As you can see, planets in space, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, or whatever. But overall, it's drawing to the aliens to come to Danville, which Doofenshmirtz's plan has become successful now.
This is so cool!
I'd try to recruit him, but I don't think we ever had that way.
Unless he shrinks down, you could call him Agent Steve the Lizard.
There's no way we can catch him. He moves too fast.
Here comes the most brilliant speeches you will ever see from Ferb Fletcher.
Give up. Give up.
The day may come when we'll give up on fruitless searches after a mere 11 minutes.
But that day is not today. The day may come when our favorite reptile may be lost from our memories and his enduring love of mushrooms forgotten. But that day is not today.
Today we search. We will search for him in the streets. We will search for him in the trenches. We will search for him in the alleys and the mini-malls and the cul-de-sacs of this fair land.
We'll search for him in the multi-level car parks and municipal recreational facilities. And we small band of brothers and girl from across the street. We shall not cease till he is found.
Man, Thomas Sangster is just awesome as Ferb. I'm really gonna miss him. There are many people that you're familiar with the background. The guy with the blue t-shirt again, and also the ball pit kid that we seen in, was it when Lawrence was a robot? And also the officer from It's About Time from the museum.
We'll help you find your friend. What does he look like?
And they keep the same voice actor as well, Carlos Avakarakis, who also did Bobby Fabulous.
Oh, you could have mentioned that up front.
The spaceship should be here any minute.
Well, that's the hour. I'm gonna pack up my gear. I got another lesson across town.
You're almost here. Oh, look, here they come. Perfect. The crescendo.
Jeremy is gone, so that will be a perfect time for Perry the Platypus to stop him. Just like Isabel in the previous episode, Perry just comes in one frame and he appears.
Get it? Heavy metal? Like...
Yes? Sorry, wrong Steve.
Right here, how can I help you?
Well, in the bad future, when Doofenshmirtz took over, he calls everyone Joe. This is like in Danville, everyone's calling Steve. And also, the guy is Dan Proverman.
Hey, Steve.
Cool name, Steve.
Hey, Steve Arena.
Of course, everyone's name is Steve. Of course, just like Joe.
Steve! What? That's Steve.
I like how everyone in Danville runs in different directions. As Steve sees the amplifier as it zooms in, which looks like a mushroom which he's going to eat, by the way.
My alien friend I command you! This is not working out the way it did on paper!
Man, Perry the Platypus can play guitar and do anything. Go figure.
Curse you, Perry the Platypus!
And this is the first time Perry the Platypus meets Steve, as he will shrunk down later on. Front face Phineas again.
Oh, there you are, Perry.
Front face Phineas again. Man, I really like the backgrounds in Danville. It gets more stylish and more polished in season 3.
I know Phineas and Ferb are behind this.
I like how the camera shakes, as we've seen it early on with Steve while being big. It gets more emotional. Presumably, that has to be D. Bradley Baker doing the sounds for Steve.
Think my life. Well, I can see how that would be confusing.
I like the way it shrunks down instead of his arms going big, but it's the complete opposite.
Don't you think that's a bit of an exaggeration?
Hey, Steve's looking like his old self again. Actually, a chameleon. You said we could keep him, right?
Of course. I'm sure he'll blend right in.
Steve the Lizard, welcome to the Flynn Fletcher's family.
Now, this is a G chord.
Actually, it's major monogram.
Jeremy has been with Doofusmus and now Major Monogram to learn about guitar. How ironic.
Secret agent undercover animals who hit...
And Major Monogram tells Jeremy about his old WCA. I wonder if he knows Perry's a secret agent, but he doesn't.
So knock yourself out.
According to the D23 Expo, Dr. Doofus was supposed to say something different in this scene, in this episode.
For instance, this clip coming up is Doofenshmirtz learning guitar from Jeremy, and what he was supposed to say was, I'm gonna take over the tri-state area! And then just stay there, and then there was gonna be this long pause, and then Jeremy was gonna say his line, like a long dramatic pause, just for humor. And when they sent us back the animation, they didn't close his mouth. So he was going, tri-state area! And we're like, we're gonna have to change that. We call a retake. And then when we got into the voice replacement session, we hadn't had the correct animation in yet. So I, watching it, just went, well, you'll see here.
And I will become overlord of the tri-state area!
Have you considered switching to decaf?
So I just kept saying it as long as his mouth was open, and Swampy said, okay, we're gonna have to cancel that retake because we want to use that.
This was much funnier.
And they kept that in because Swampy Moss said it was funnier. But let's get on to the ratings. I'm gonna give the plot a 3. I really like how Phineas and Ferb looking after Steve along with Isabella by feeding mushrooms, as Jeremy accidentally used the Innator, which uses the switch to make Steve look big, as he crumbles around in the tri-state area while causing havoc. Well, he didn't destroy everything, except the fact he destroyed the amplifier and in the end, as Perry meets him. And the plot piece side of Jeremy learning guitar with Doof is excellent, and it brings a lot of infamous of the show, as Doofus is still planning to try to take over the tri-state area by using aliens with guitar until Jeremy left, and it caused Perry the Platypus to counter to try and stop it, but it didn't happen. But Steve the Lizard took care of it in the end. The characterization will get 4. Phineas is very consistent, and I really love Ferb's speech, even though it's random, but I like how he determined to find Steve, even though they did find him in the end. And Steve the Lizard is very good, as that was his only appearance, and we never get to see him again. We do get to see Isabella helping out. I really like Jeremy, Doofenshmirtz interacting with each other, which is very cool before he goes. And Major Monogram in the end. Overall, very good. The visuals will get a 4. I really like Steve's design as he is a lizard. I really like how he disappears as a camel, and the mushrooms, and a lot of things that are happening in this episode. Ferb's speech, Jeremy, and Doofus. There's a lot of things happening, and it did very well. Importance gets a 2. It's very well remembered by the Phineas and Ferb fandom. Not as remembered as other episodes, but still remembered for all the good reasons, as Steve Lizard's only appearance and Jeremy and Doofenshmirtz. Entertainment is a 5. That leaves off with an 18 out of 25. Less point than the previous score, but it's good enough for an episode like this, and it's a very well-rounded episode. Let's move into the next one. The last episode out of the 12 episodes of Phineas and Ferb that I break down today is called Robot Rodeo. Premiered in March the 6th, 2010, and it's written by Kaz and J.G. Oratena, which Rodney appears in this episode, by the way. Phineas and Ferb build a robotic rodeo in the backyard. Candace tries to prove she can focus so she can go to a concert with Stacy. Doofenshmirtz stalls to finish his entry into the Innata Creator competition.
What to do, what to do.
What you doing?
Isabella Garcia appears wearing her Fireside Girl uniform, as she does wear her normal outfit later.
Let's see. What's next on the list? Rodeo Clown Pat!
To keep the bulls from knocking you over like this.
Damn, Buford, you really gone rough on Balji in many episodes. Another of Front Face Phineas.
Hey, where's Perry?
League of villainous evildoers maniacally united for frightening investments in naughtiness is having some sort of huge gathering.
And that will be the second time we see Love Muffin. The first we saw them was Nerdy Dancing.
But none have reported back. We fear they've been captured.
Tiny Cowboy live in concert!
Oh, that is the first mention of Tiny Cowboy, as they don't appear until season 3, Meatloaf's surprise.
Candace!
I can't go.
What?
She doesn't want me to go to the concert with you.
No, she likes you just fine. She just thinks you're, I don't know, flighty and unfocused from time to time.
Which becomes the main point in this episode as Candace gets to meet her mom.
Was that Ferb's bandsaw?
Candace?
Yes.
Focus?
Oh, yeah, right. I can be grounded and mature.
Really?
You can see in Candace's room while Stacy's talking, it's out of focus, as we see in season 1 or many episodes.
Remember that time I pretended to be Irish for a whole week?
Indeed I do, Miss O'Flynn.
So Love Muffin's location in the contest is Quantity Inn. There are a lot of pharmacists in that convention. You can see different inventions, different innovators, a lot of good design. This is well done, as we get to see a lot of pharmacists there as Rodney is about to appear.
Rodney! Ta-da!
Man, that is a nice spell. RN8R. That is pretty sick. I really like how this glows.
Ooh, I'm taking that puppy home with me, because I'll have a greater Innata this year.
A cheese and McNachos for you guys. It's greater in the sense that it's better than it was last year.
I wish we get to see it what it does.
Ta-da! But they're just a pair of fake glasses.
Nothing says real focus like fake glasses.
To be honest, Candace looks good with fake glasses.
Cowgirls and cowpokes.
Wait a minute! What's going on out there?
Candace? Nobody's thought we had helmets.
Rodeo? Gotta tell Mom. I must repress my most basic urge to bust. Than ever. Look at my mom.
Cake is a sometimes food. Cake is a sometimes food.
Man, why is she fighting over cake? Come on. It is a sometimes food, but you gotta eat it.
All right, cowboys and cowgirls, it's time to get along, little doggy.
The song is called Robot Rodeo, so while it's playing, Phineas, Ferb, Buford, Isabella, and Baljeet all doing their rodeo stuff. I really like how the robot rodeo's dancing in the background, as you can see Cogs there. Even Phineas and Ferb is enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the choreography of this. Yet the Fireside Girls using the red target as it's becoming a ball fest. I like more in the background, as you can see Robot Rodeo's dancing more with Phineas and his friends and enjoying it. Very good.
Harry the Platypus. All the other animal agents were here on time before they got captured. Join your friends in the inhospitality suite.
Looks like Perry's united with Agent D, Agent C for chicken, Agent K for kitty, Agent K for kangaroo, Agent F for frog, Agent R, Agent P for pig, and also Peter the Panda, who we get to see again. As you can see, Gretchen's mouth is still closed while her tongue is still open, which is an animation error.
Stop monologuing with your nemesis and show us that supposed Innata of yours already, because he's still working on his.
All I've got so far is the fog machine.
I'm not gonna count it as an Innata, just so you know.
Turn it on and fog out the whole contest, but all that would do is buy me some time.
Stacey?
Yes?
I'm feeling the busting urge.
Eyes on the prize, Candace. Stay in character.
No. Good afternoon, Mother. Good afternoon, Dr. Hirano.
I like the way Candace talked differently as her focus is not focused on Phineas and Ferb until her urges is starting to come into her later on.
Of a focused and mature nature that I can perform for you?
Why do I feel that all this has something to do with busting your brothers?
No, that would be childish of me.
She's not a bit worried about what Phineas and Ferb are doing right now.
What? Yes. No. Yes.
Man, Candace just cannot stay focused for one bit, even though her brothers are doing something right now.
Ow! That was childish.
Man, Doofenshmirtz is covering the fog and everyone around in Danville. Very, very, very peculiar.
Have a foggy robot rodeo. Yeehaw!
This fog is making my hair frizzy.
And we do get to see that in the end, as Izzy's got the frizzies.
Opportunity for us to really...
And Candace is being childish again. And that foreshadows on what's going to happen more with Stacy abandoning Candace when we get to the lemonade stand.
Come on, you gotta bust that!
Oh, poor Dr. Rhino. She's going to have to clean this mess. Why did you spill the coffee and drag your mom? You should have just let her put it in the table and then go.
Chemical pulls and bleachers and it's really dangerous.
This even I have to see.
It's nice to see Miss Hirano, Stacy's mom, getting extra dialogue in this episode.
Follow me. Come on. This way, ladies. Pick up the pace.
Candace, slow down.
Candace is very good at knowing where to go in her backyard, even though it's foggy, but you should have just used your phone to track it there.
Focus must finish inator. You're everyone's inators. What could they be?
I give you the fog clearinator.
It's also Rodney's Nair, so that doesn't count. It's not Doof. Man, he's one step ahead of everybody in every pharmacy. Rodney must have some clever thoughts.
What? An electric fan? I knew I could beat that if I just had a little more time.
Looks like he's going to get the old WCA agents free to make sure it's going to cause a mayhem in this pharmacist thing.
That way. I can smell Phineas and Ferb.
Hey, what's wrong, Buford?
I don't know, something...
And it's a balloon around the fog is causing all of this. Man, how could these animal agents never build a team together just to get them out of the container? But overall, Doofenshmirtz helped them.
The animal agents are free!
That sounds like Swampy Marsh, the co-creator of Phineas and Ferb. So he voiced a bad guy and he voices Major Monogram, the good guy.
How disquieting.
Tom Kenny's in Phineas and Ferb once again as a pharmacist.
Oh, my mom's gonna kill me.
Man, I like that line. That line's very relatable. My mom's gonna kill me.
It's beneficial to mankind.
Yep, the pharmacist is getting the ass kicked by the old WCA agents again.
This balloon cost me 50 cents.
The guy who's holding the balloon is Dimitri Papaunopoulos, who appeared before this episode, but he's the guy who's holding balloon. And he has different voice actors. Robert Rodeo, he's voiced by Taylor Mann, the voice of Carl. I like how the people leave before the invention disappears again.
Rodeo?
Well, so much for Tiny Cowboy.
Candace's single-minded determination to bust her brothers shows focus. Something I hope rubs off on you, young lady.
Man, Minna is so cool as Miss Hirano, and she does other characters in other media, but I really like that she gets more voice roles here.
No, I give you the Eradicate Rodney's inator.
And the punch destroyed his inator. Is that even allowed, or is that cheating, or they just don't care?
Like a baby! And it's the last inator standing!
Trophy belt was destroyed in the fight.
Oh, and I completely forgot. The judge is voiced by Robert Napper, who's done a lot of movies. Man, that is such a bummer. Doofenshmirtz, I'm glad he's getting a win, even though he's not doing evil right now.
A prize is a prize. I'm going to call you Balloony 2.
And that's a great callback to the Chronicles of Meep.
Oh, there you are, Perry.
Well, this was fun.
And that's what Isabella's hair looks like when it's frizzy, and you're gonna be hearing the song when it comes up. The song is called Easy's Got the Frizzies. That is the first song that Isabella is alone, and she is sung by none other than Cameron Carr, who did another song for Phineas and Ferb. Man, I really like the music and the dance in the background. Isabella's got some moves. I really like there's different colours in the background while Isabella's dancing, which is very neat.
It's because
The episodes are fun and entertaining, but I'm gonna give the plot a 2. I really like the idea that Phineas and Ferb made a robot rodeo in the background as they're having a very fun time. Candace trying to stay focused, advised by Stacy, as she does, but until she snaps out of it and trying to bust her brother as she failed, which probably foreshadows the lemonade stand. And also we get to see the pharmacist as Rodney won the belt last year, but Doofenshmirtz overthrown him by his innator punching the fan, which destroyed it, with the help of the OWCA, who helped them escape with the blueprint. Characterization will get a 4. Everyone's on point in this episode. Rodney, as we get to see it again, the other pharmacist, the OWCA agent. Candace may have not been the same, but she doesn't act out of character, as she is always obsessed with trying to bust her brothers, as she failed, we get to see Dr. Rhino once again, and the rest of the characters are very good. The visuals will get a 4. There are a lot of good visuals in this episode. The innators, the robot rodeos, the action, the music, backgrounds including Easy's Got the Frizzies, the robot rodeo, a lot of stuff, very good. There's a lot of movement there, which makes the episode very enjoyable. Importance gets a 2. Entertainment gets a 5. That leaves off with a 17 out of 25, which is not a bad score. It may not be as memorable, but it's still an entertaining episode if you want to go back and watch it, which I recommend. There are 2 episodes that Alison Stoner, aka Isabella Garcia Rios' voice actress, actually recorded lines for behind the scenes. I Was a Middle-Aged Robot and Suddenly Susie.
Charge! 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 How funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? Hey, Team Flim and Fletcher, how funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? Hey, Team Flynn and Fletcher, shake your caboose. Come on, fans, do the wave for our father-daughter babe. Candace Lawrence, yay, team! Hello? Hello? Woohoo! Wow. Woohoo! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Also in Suddenly Susie, the episode that beat out the previous record episode count of 87 held by Kim Possible, turning Phineas and Ferb into a Disney Channel animated series with the most episodes produced. This is the Disney of SpongeBob, by the way. And also the collar with the dog, which is similar to Scooby-Doo in Hip Hip Parade. A YouTuber named Charles Schoolgirl uploaded demo versions of Phineas and Ferb of the songs and the other song which is not synced to the episode, which is very cool. I recommend you go check out the channel and the storyboards as well. I did 2 polls, which episode is better of the 2, and some people voted for Isabel and the Temple Sat as several of them. Well, many prefer Bubble Boys, which is fine, but the second part is better because it's synced with the first story. I also did another poll, is Doofenshmirtz being a good dad to Vanessa? And everyone says yes. Even though Doofenshmirtz may have some embarrassing moments with Vanessa, and Vanessa at times just not as offended as him, but overall, at least Doofenshmirtz trying, which Doofenshmirtz's parents never had when he was a kid. By the time the video's uploaded, I'm gonna do a poll of which characters of Phineas and Ferb you wish that got screen time. Let me know in the community tabs. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. As always, see ya.